Look at that, down to the wire. Hello and welcome to all you wonderful 2-beat dicers. It's your boy, Daddy Tarzan, with the wonderful cast and crew of The Adventures of Poor Atlas with guest starring the Grisard Gandhi Safari Services. Welcome to Tuesday. You know what it is. It's the Edge of the Empire session that we've all been looking for the week, because we got some flirting to do, apparently, from what my players have told me so far. Starting off, let's go ahead and get our quick cast introduction out of the way. I am Tarzan, Daddy Tarzan 82855 on all social media platforms. You can find me on TikTok primarily, as well as Instagram, and Twitter. My Twitter handle is a little different, but you can find that in my bio. Starting up next, let's go ahead and get a little introduction from Archie over here.
Hi everyone, I'm happy to be back. I am Archie, your lovable Wookiee warrior marauder, and I am here to crack skulls, pull some limbs, and hopefully get everyone here safely home. I don't know who's next.
Circuit. Yeah.
Yep.
My character's name's Minoy Centero. I'm a droid tech. I'm a Twi'lek. And I care more about droids than real-life companions. So, yeah. That's my character.
What's going on? I am always and always have been Raw, your Thursian grenadier mechanic powder keg of insane piece of work. Oh my god. Anyway, I'm always Oz, son of a ghost on all social media platform. And yeah, let's get some flirtation going on tonight.
And then finally, to wrap us up.
Hey y'all, my name's Eric. I'm playing Dark Helen, sarcastic, witty rogue who's probably more trouble than he's worse to this party, but we'll see what happens.
You're our only pilot, shut up!
Alright. Ooh, that's got volume on this thing. Alright. That being said, last we left off was the planet. The adventurers had arrived on the planet known as Tolgana, a vastly uncharted planet, heavily densely populated, or not populated, but vastly dense forested planet. The adventurers had discovered the location of the wreckage of the ship that is known as the Sadnal Ore, that is rumored to hold technology of cybernetic qualities that far surpass even modern technology that's available to the galaxy now. Tasked with finding and discovering this location and bringing back any survivors, that, as well as technology that they do find on this planet, by the president of Isotech, known as Rom. The adventurers agreed to take this on as a favor for the Mandalorian architect known as Odil, who was injured on the wheel and could not go on the adventure with them. They discovered the wreckage. Upon doing so, they encountered cybernetically augmented Nexu, who proceeded to ambush them at the most opportune time. The party managed to dispatch 2 of the 4 cybernetically enhanced Nexu, 2 of which managed to escape. And as they made their way out of the wreckage to the surface once more, were greeted with the sight of the Yayar clan landing their Night Flyer YT 2400 series freighter in the middle of their camp, securing a beachhead and trying to assert dominance over this, or claim over this wreckage. With some clever planning, the party tried to at least significantly damage the ship known as the Night Flyer by drawing the attention of the forces to the front side of the ship, where Rawl could flank around and try and either take out the engines or at least catch some of these forces by surprise. In the exchange, the attempt to try and dissuade the confrontation, Grisard Gandhi, the de facto leader of the Grisard Gandhi Spy Services, tried to negotiate but failed, and in the exchange took several heavy hits to the point where he almost died. Recovering from his wounds, thanks to the interference of these survivors, the party now finds themselves within the encampment known as the Retreat, a fortress, a makeshift fortress, if you will, that acts as their haven and protection from possible discovery from the Empire, as they made it very clear they are fugitives of the Empire. The party is now tasked by Bertala, the lead researcher who created some of these cybernetic augmentations that the party has been exposed to so far. This researcher begs with the core Atlas crew and the Safari crew to win over the survivors, because Captain Rel Arsal is not easily swayed. The rest of this adventure is going to lead. Last left off with the party settling into camp. The effort to collect and consolidate both parties took the rest of the day that the Solomon War was discovered to consolidate back at the wreckage, or the retreat. This is day one on the planet of Volgana. The survivors rise to the early morning sun as they go about the encampment, taking on daily tasks, switching out guard rotations, gathering supplies, gathering materials, just to continue surviving in this harsh environment. The encampment itself is rather well designed, albeit patchwork and jerry-rigged together at various points. Any sizable force that were to come against this or attack this encampment would easily be able to overwhelm its defenses, as there's only 2 defense towers that watch over this encampment. But it seems adequate enough to keep the natural predatory wildlife at bay. The adventurers will spot several B1 battle droids. B1 battle droids traversing amongst the camp, and basically engaged in a routine patrol route. The droids barely acknowledge your existence. They seem more essentially focused on their task. But as you watch these droids pass by you guys, you will take notice to the apparent decrepit conditions of these droids. barely held together, some held together by electrical tape or whatever emergency repair patches that they had left. These guys are barely functioning, and some of them have gouts of electricity that spark out every couple minutes and whatnot. The survivors themselves, their clothes tattered, patchwork. Some of them wearing clothing that looks like it was made from the local flora in order to retain body heat in the cold conditions of the night of the jungle. As you collect together amongst yourselves, you spot both Kratala, the lead, the researcher, cybernetic researcher, leaving her hut and going about her day, heading straight for the kennels, where her two remaining Nexu still reside, heavily wounded and in need of tending. Captain Harsal, you spot at the other end. He locks eyes on the group of you. A very stern and calculating stare as he assesses what you bring, the threats you bring, and he goes about his day. Out of the main meeting hall where you guys last saw Grisard, who was in recovery, you see him standing, albeit a little dazed as he's mostly recovered. Surprisingly, the treatments that Dr. Kratala had provided seem to be healing rather fast as he's standing there shirtless with the bandages that remain. Only 2 patches now left as opposed to the entire body wrap that he was enveloped in. Gives you a wave as he makes his way to you guys in a slight daze, but at least on his own 2 feet. Hey, g'day, mate. How we looking? What's status? Everybody up and kicking, Archie?
Everyone's accounted for. I think Minoy's about to have a heart attack by the amount of droids that are sparking, but beyond that, I feel everything's fine. Besides that, if you recall, I told you we don't have the space to get over 5 people onto different ships, even with Grisard's Fang, the Chimera. If we commandeered Yav's Rust Bucket, we could barely make half, if that. If we threw all cargo, food, and water off the ships, we then make half.
Yeah. I mean, we weren't really tasked with recovery. This is more of the Northwind Chimera's.
Grisard, we've been here to do a job, and whatever their job is our job, right? So, if they're here to find cybernetics and survivors, we're here to find cybernetic and survivors. And now it's got more complicated.
Indeed, it did. That raises a good question, mate. Roll. What's your guys' plan of action with these survivors?
Rawl looks up from the notebook that he was scribbling in about all the possible defenses upgrades he could possibly do in the area. Honestly, not quite sure. This really was Captain Chev's plan of action. I just kind of was roped into doing this. But basically, right now, Dr. Kratala over there, she wants us to make an expedition back out to the Sunala ore to pick up some resources for her cybernetic experiments and repair of those little kitty droids that we had encountered before.
Those are hers.
Oh, those were hers. Those are her doing, yeah.
God.
That lightning claw thing, exoskeleton thing, yeah, all her.
I don't know if I should be impressed or concerned.
Right.
Hell of an altercation, right?
But the whole reason why they need to be repaired, it's their form of protection for this area, right? It's their way of not making it as obvious that they're here when, like, you know, if someone comes to investigate and they see a bunch of dead bodies of people with blaster fire, then we're kind of wondering, like, why is this happening out here on a planet that's supposed to just be animals? So they re-engineered these things, and now they obey them, and they get natural-looking deaths, and that's how they keep the anonymity.
Not that.
Canonically, Raw can't say canonic or anonymity.
Can't say canonically either.
Honestly, it's not a bad ploy, but I'm more concerned, how do we get out of here keeping our necks? How do we stop Yav from leaving here and bring more of his buddies? And how we get everyone off? You got any thoughts?
As you mentioned, the Yayar clan, a lot of you take a look around, and you do end up spotting several members of the Yayar clan engaged in several menial tasks with the other survivors.
We're outside of our abode right now.
Yeah, everybody's outside right now.
They have a head start.
They may have a head start, but menial task around is not going to get them any points, really. They can all do that themselves. They need to really do something, and that's what we're about to do.
Not to be that guy, but I mean, what pays more?
As you say that, Dar, you watch as a gold-skinned Nothwin curves around the corner. Did I just hear my favorite words?
Oh, there's two of you now.
Hey, listen, we took this job on to pay, and it did get a little bit more complicated, and it's going to cost a little more money to take on this type of endeavor, but...
Okay, well, do you have any suggestions how we get all of us off planet side?
Well, that's the golden ticket, ain't there? By my recollection, you're only tasked with bringing back the researcher and the cybernetic augmentation, as well as possibly Captain Rel Harsel. Whether the rest of the survivors get picked up is up to full VP president of Isotech. It's his responsibility.
Right, well, we haven't had such in conversations, but I'm pretty sure this doctor is not going to want to leave her people here behind just to go off on her own little fact-finding tour for somebody who doesn't really know.
And also, the captain, he's paranoid, right? Looking at Roll in that moment, it's like he's very, very paranoid. So if we try and take him and the cybernetic, he'll think we're working for the Empire, and he'll set an uprising, and we'll all be dead within the next day.
All right, so we convince him.
It's going to take some convincing, right? And honestly, I for one am just ready to just do away with these filthy Rhodians and call it a day. But now we got to play nice, and we didn't have you here to do all this convincing in your fancy small talk. You do, so.
You know, I have a certain charm about me, so.
Yeah, thanks for leaving us in the wind.
Listen, I had to ensure that we got off this planet. And, lo and behold, that went out the window as soon as battle droids showed up with missile tubes.
So how do you think it's gonna go if we grab the cyber lady and the captain, put them on your ship, and you think the battle droids are not just gonna turn those missile pods on us?
I didn't say we had to kidnap them. I said we had to try and convince them.
I'm leaning towards more the former than the latter.
I'm good at making friends.
We're referring to flesh and blood, not oil and
Chad
chassis.
just gives this side item and way like, okay. You know what? That raises a good question. A good point. What's your name over there? As he points to Manoy.
My name's Manoy, and she kind of like puts her hands in front of her, and like head's kind of tilted down.
Good to meet you, Chav Visto, greatest pilot in the galaxy. You say? Did I hear you mention something about being a droid tech?
Yes.
Okay. Well, if we are going to get in the good graces of Mr. High and Mighty Lord Captain Arsal over here, we might need you to put your skills to work and get these droids looking a little more tip-top shape. You know what I'm saying?
I look over at Archie and kind of like do I get permission?
Oh
Yeah.
no. There's like a long, drawn out pause of this Wookiee just debating, and then immediately just like looks at Grizard, looks back at Manoy, and just goes, "Go play with your new toys." just gestures.
Manoy gets all excited and instantly like bolts towards the closest droid.
Scuttle, keeping pace with you.
Oh yeah.
Marching up.
Word to the wise pilot, looking at Chav. Or Chaz.
Yeah.
Chav.
Yeah, Chav. That droid you saw there chasing after him.
Oh yeah.
He's put down more people than I have combined.
Yeah, eyes in the back of his head, that one.
That's good to know.
A well-placed lie can also go a long way.
True, but can your well-placed lies also heal someone's wounds at the same time?
We can tell them they're mending.
I like this guy. All right. Well,
there's two of them.
So, what's the plan? We gotta convince the Roll. You talk to the Miss Pretty Eyes over there. What was her suggestion?
Well, as I told the others this morning already, we need to head back to San Aloor and grab some material, some of her reach material, and maybe any other cybernetics we find, and some raw material so she can repair these big robot kitties over here.
You think one of you said that droid has medical experience, right? Think he'd be good at veterinary work?
He's more
Quite possible.
Possibly. He's more combat oriented than standard triage.
I mean, I'm sure Manoy can find some program around here and download some cerebral cortex stuff for that.
I look, and knowing that this is a separatist encampment, there's a separatist ship not too far away, I'm like, do you really want Manoy to get her hands on super battle droids or magma guards, to be completely honest with you? Just looking back at Roll.
Yeah. Look, we got to do something to get into these people's good graces.
These people look like they need to be fed, so hunting could also be a big bonus. Right. Carrying heavy weights. Again, going back to the ship, finding more materials, digging up the fuck, that guy person was looking for.
Right. Speaking of digging, do we have anything on the Northwind for that kind of project?
What, excavation?
Yeah. Do we have any, like, I don't know, at least, at the very least, a shovel?
I mean, sure, these people have shovels laying around somewhere. That, I mean, look at this camp. They've made shit out of shit.
You're not wrong. Well,
Um,
I can inquire around here.
Granted, what are you trying to dig up? Fossils?
Well, when we inspected the Sun Aloe ore, it's kind of half buried, so we're gonna have to kind of dig down to try to find anything. So any kind of excavation tool will be handy at this point.
Do you know how deep down?
Several.
I didn't have access to any blueprints yet, so I don't know exactly how big this ship is.
That might be something to ask for, to be honest.
Right, that's the next juncture. Quite indeed.
Oh. I mean, we could either dig it up ourselves and keep the payload for ourselves, keep most of the payload for ourselves, or we can go back to Rom, get some excavation equipment. He'll probably want to tag along, and we'll have to share the loot. Granted, we have to share the loot as is, but
I'm quite certain it's going to be hard for us to try and hide anything, because I'm sure the captain is going to have an escort for us if we go on this trip. He's not going to just let us go by ourselves.
Yeah.
right. Well, I'm thinking we engage in a series of tasks over today.
Well, we have 3 days. That's the deliberation. Once they come up with their 3 days, we're either going to be executed or set free.
Okay.
So,
I like where my head's at right now, so I suggest that we get definitely involved in these people's good graces.
are you sure there's no way to contact anyone from the outside without drawing attention? Or any way we can get a transport down here or whatever?
Could get into contact with Rom, see if he can send a transport. But I think we're a little out of communication ranges, which would facilitate the reason why the Sanalo sent out a hyperspace message pod. And communication is going to be a little difficult. So you guys have access to a hyperspace message pod as well.
I don't think that's on the Grisel's Fang, but sure there's something.
Well, I'm gonna go try and make myself useful around camp. Probably chum it up with Captain Arsal, Arsal, Rawl and Kachi. I think manual labor sounds like it's more up your alley.
Not wrong.
Mr. Golden here over here, you might want to stick to recovering for a little bit. You look a little banged up for worse for wear. And I think your Twilight friend Minori is already having a field day with those droids.
I'm sure her and the cybernetic doctor will come best friends.
While I'm working on these droids, I'm going to make sure that they have free speech.
Oh, Jesus!
Oh, no.
Oh, no!
How fun. I like that.
Yes.
I'm not really sure we want to hear what droids actually think, but here we go.
That's gonna go over well.
That's incredible. I love that.
Makes you wonder, though, is Roger just programmed into them? Do they like saying Roger?
That's a good question.
Roger.
Yeah, it sounds pretty dead inside.
Yeah, I was about to say.
You're not wrong.
Look, that being said, what's on everybody's mind right now. Where do you guys feel like you would excel in the moment, right? You saw some of the areas that definitely need work. Droids, the encampment itself. Um, you have a task at hand provided to you by Cortella herself. And then Minoy's already hard at work with the droids.
Mhm.
Rawl is definitely in hyper focus mode. Um, as I said before, he was writing down all of the possible modifications he can make to the defenses that he had seen, if he had the material, that is, um, and what kind of material he would need and whatnot.
Okay.
Not really thinking anything emotional at the moment. Just what all needs to be done and needs to be done first, priority.
Okay. Archie.
I think Archie is going to ask around if anyone's going to go hunting to get tonight's meal because he has the field kitchen. So he's also an adept hunter. He's familiar with this environment, at least a similar environment to between forest and jungle. It's just a different way of altitude and atmosphere. But besides that, offering to set up snares and traps around the encampment to catch small game, as well as taking his new force pike and going out and doing a bit of hunting. I need to add that. I need to add that to my equipment, but
I like it. All right.
I mean,
What about
Vibro Axis is too clean. I want to rub it into the Trandoshans like, hey, this is your boss's pointy stick.
I like it. What about you, Dar? What are you feeling? Your skills would be most contributed.
I don't know. I'm just reading through what I got here. There's something that needs to be lied to. I could do that real good.
Trying to be truthful here.
Truth. What's the truth?
Truth.
White lies.
Believable lie.
White lies.
Smuggler. I don't know. That's a good question.
Maybe warming up to the captain.
I can tell him of my grand exploits in the Outer Rim.
You do get, if you do recall. Well, you were there. You were there for in character for last session, but when the survivors all met in the Grand Hall for initial questioning of your guys' arrival, they all inquired about the current state of the political climate in the galaxy. They were fearful that the Empire is still in power, which it is. Is there anybody standing up to the Empire, which they are, and is there anywhere safe? So you could talk to the various survivors around camp, try and convince them. Captain Harsal is a little harder to. You get it just from the first exchange that you guys had with him. He's a very hard person to convince. He's very paranoid, very judgmental of outsiders, and a lot of people have been suspecting him killing any potential means of getting off this planet because he doesn't think that they would find anywhere safe to survive out in the galaxy. That Cholkan is the only safe spot. So you could try and talk to the survivors and try and convince them that there's a better life out in the galaxy aside from just being stuck on a dangerous planet, barely surviving. So that's an option.
Okay.
You could still try your hand with Captain Harsal. I'm not trying to dissuade you from that, but I would say your character would probably be inclined to believe that it would be easier to convince the people, as they do suspect Parsol of being underhanded a lot. So,
Okay.
Or at the very least, give Chav a boost die as he talks
Right.
to the captain.
that's it.
Um,
I don't know if
I-
Chav is going to try it either, but we could.
I
If you
think
guys
I
want.
think I might I think I might have more luck and a better strategy going forward with convincing the survivors than the captain himself.
All right, I like this.
Um,
I like where we're
so-
heads at. All right. Before we get any further into the session, let's go ahead and refer to our game table today.
I'm streaming.
Roll our
Oh
luck
boy,
point.
oh boy, how did I know this was gonna happen?
All
I was
right.
waiting for it.
So everybody in the top right corner, if you could go ahead and roll your force die for the day. Let's see how lucky we're feeling. Kellen coming in lucky as hell.
Oh no. Here it comes.
Rawl rolling a dark side token for the DM. Thank you.
I'm nervous.
Minoy and
Finally,
Nice.
too late.
Archie
Two light
rolling two light
side.
side. Okay. And then all we
Yeah.
got left is Minoy. See how lucky Minoy is feeling today.
Oh no, Circuit did. Benoit did. It was one
Oh.
dark side.
Yeah,
Oh,
right
that's
here.
up. Why didn't get added in?
I don't know. So 2 light side, 2 dark side, 2 more light side.
Do you
Just
need
add
to
one-
re-roll?
Add 1 more dark. No, you're good.
You're good.
No.
Okay. And now I gotta roll my force die for the day.
No, that's that was.
Oh yeah. You're right. Sorry.
So, that brings up a good point. To the viewers, your boy's been fucking up on how to use force powers. We will be changing that going forward. There's no free uses. You have to roll as an ability check to use your force powers. That was my bad.
Damn.
So, that's gonna be fun. That's gonna be a fun mechanic to start exploiting. I can't wait. It's gonna come with complications if you do it outside of your tokens. It's gonna be great. I'm excited.
Do we, because we've slept, do we regain wounds and our strain and stuff?
You naturally gain 1 point of wound back, and you recover all of your strain. I believe.
Okay.
actually,
Slowly but surely.
If you do you can do a medicine check to recover more. If you decide to recover, try and.
Yeah, I'm gonna do a medicine check to regain some wounds. See if I can. Drop the few that I have at the moment.
So it's going to be a medicine check. Difficulty is going to be whatever your natural health range is at right now. So what? How much?
My health my wound current is 10 because I did take a grenade to the face.
That's right. How many hit points or what's your wound threshold?
Oh, 31.
31. So you're above the half.
Yeah.
So that's going to be an easy medicine check, and then based off of the number of successes, you recover that many.
I got 0 successes and 2 advantages. I don't think I'm healing anything today.
That's a fair assessment. Let's see.
Yeah, 2 failures.
Yeah.
I just I don't heal anything today.
Nothing extra, at least. Recovering strain. Fortunately, recovering from strain is fairly easy. Taking a moment to get your breath, eating good meals, spending time relaxing are good.
Well,
we
did have like a massive party and we ate and drank and danced and played music. So I guess that would count.
Recovering, yeah. Let me finish here. Removes. Furthermore, a good night's rest generally removes all strain a character has suffered. So yeah, as long as you get some sleep, you can recover all of your strain.
Yeah. Alrighty, that's alright though.
And another thing is, whenever in combat, if you have if your wound or your strength special is getting a little high, you can also use advantages to recover a point of strength. So that's another way.
Okay.
So
Alright. That's good to know.
it's two advantages to recover 1 point of strength in combat. Furthermore, I can use those threats that you generate to give you more strength.
Got it.
Give and take system. I gotta be using it more often. That being said, we rolled our force dice. Or our luck points. We're looking lucky tonight. Okay. Cool. All right. Let's. Who would like to go? Let's actually get an initiative order out of the four of you guys to see where you guys start off.
Yeah, that actually sounds like a good idea.
So let's go ahead and roll a cool check and add to initiative.
I actually did all right for once. Weirdly enough.
Damn.
Looking good. I think we're going to be starting with. Yep. Okay. We're going to be starting off with.
Listen.
Yeah.
I'm not cool.
It's all good. It's fine. This is just to figure out whose scenes are going to be taking place first, which is kind of thematic here. So we're going to be starting off with Dark Helen interacting with the local survivors as they go about their daily tasks to try and convince them over to your guys' point of view. After that will be... Oh, you guys tied. Well, I'm going to go with Minoy because they have more ability die than you. So it's going to be Dar, Minoy, Archibaka, finally.
That's completely fair. That is totally fair.
So, from this point on, you guys split from the group and begin to take on your personal objectives. Well, actually, we might need to hit for more results because we're doing social encounters here. Let me pull up the survivors. Okay, there we go. Okay. As you, Dar, begin to make your way from the group as everybody heads out for the day. This is day 28, or day 28 for the campaign. Day 1. No, day 2 on this planet. Yep, day 2 on this planet for you guys. I put that in my notes. Day 2, Golgana. All right. There we go. You make your way through the camp as these survivors are going about menial tasks. You see some working on mending clothing under a shaded canopy. You see some working doing metal work to try and fashion some makeshift weaponry, or forming some panels to aid in the mending of the perimeter fencing. Some fashioning or preparing food for the day, albeit limited in supply. You see a couple kids running about, albeit few, mocking and following the B1 battle droids as they patrol relentlessly throughout the crowd, or being stopped by Minoy as he assesses the damages as he tries to come up with ways to improve their efficiency. And what would your first target demographic be?
I want to start with kind of the maybe the lower class, the older, the more servantly class, or the people working the harder jobs.
Okay.
The laborer class, almost. Work
Gotcha.
my way up the
Okay.
perceived political spectrum of this thing.
Gotcha.
Um,
So
start-
you'll spot a group of more burly but older workers carrying what appears to be like crates of cargo from one end from the entrance of the camp to a logistical component management site where they compile everything and distribute it there from there. You found your laborers.
Nice. What seems to be the scuttlebutt, the gossip around this group of people? What are they talking about? What are their hopes, their dreams? What are they talking? What are they complaining about?
I like it. Go ahead and give me a average difficulty perception check as you approach.
Okay.
You've got to be 2 failures. Look at that. You meet it, but you slightly exceed the which is technically not a success, but you get enough. You get something. As you approach this resource management point, you'll spot what appears to be like a chief foreman who's delegating where resources need to go and whatnot. You feel like he's a little too high up in the chain to start off with, so you go a little bit further in, and you spot a couple of laborers hefting some crates up on top of one another, and you listen in on them. Man, this has gone on too long. I don't know how much more my back can take of this. I could kill for a nice, cool tavern, a nice, cool drink. I can't take much more of this. Listen, you can't talk like that. Captain Arsal, here's complaining. There's no telling what he'll do. Hell,
Casually stroll up to a group of these people, and then kind of watch them work just for a minute, make sure I see them, and make sure they see me as well. Just
Are you doing anything to aid, or are you just standing and watching?
Casually leaning against some of the crates they're supposed to be moving.
Okay. Okay. All right.
All right.
You watch
Enough
as
to
this-
slow them down for their work, but not yet stop them.
I got you. You watch as you continue to observe this conversation. And this older individual goes, to hell with Ossol. He's a paranoid troll. I'm tired of living under this man's thumb. Anytime that we get any chance of possibly getting off this planet, he fucking snuffs it. He kills it. This isn't the first time. I don't think these new survivors that he brought in are going to make it.
Casually, as they start approaching to get the next crate, I'm going to just casually say, I don't suppose you guys get pension plans, do you?
What is that? Some kind of joke?
No? Oh. I'm surprised. I mean, everyone knows. Oh, well, I guess maybe not everybody. Well, I mean, if you were to work for the Empire, they give a fantastic pension plan, man. Retire early, pay you through retirement, go somewhere nice.
Before you go any further into this line of thinking, I will remind you these are separatists that are on the run from the Empire.
Mm.
In case that will influence your line of thinking at this point. If you can decide to continue on, that's fine. But yeah.
All right.
Do it.
Yeah, I'm gonna stick. I'm gonna stick with this. I'm gonna see how far this grows.
Okay.
I'm gonna see how far this goes. It wasn't despite what you may think, the Empire is not the Republic. You know, they might seem to wear the same color armor, but deep down inside, they're actually fighting for the same thing the Separatists fighting for. Freedom of all the individual planets. Their own individual system. No emperor to overrule them all. Just rumors and lies. Spread by people who don't want you hearing it. Like, I don't know, like your captain, maybe. I mean, have you guys been out into the galaxy? I mean, with guys out, I've been traveling, so I've seen a thing or two. I'm just saying they have a pension plan. Something you might think about.
I'm gonna need.
Just be glad you weren't around Minoy when you said that, because
Or
Minoy
Archie.
really hates
Yeah,
really
or
hates
Archie.
the Empire.
Yeah, Archie was
I don't like
captured by them, if you recall.
No, I know. I don't like the Empire either. But
I'm gonna need.
there is a method to the madness.
Because Minoy was had a bunch of her droid friends get destroyed by Rakghouls, which was created by the ancient Sith Empire.
All right. Give me. This is gonna be. You're trying to persuade them by lying. So, give me a coercion check. Let me justify their.
Ooh, that's not great.
Thus, okay.
All right.
You, as you finish this line of thinking, or this line of thought, the older gentleman just breaks out in laughter. Yeah, okay. That's it's a cute thought, mate. But yeah, I don't know if you're aware of this. We're former separatists, and if we go back to the Empire, they'll for sure. But I like you, human. You're a funny guy.
Just saying, a lot's changed in. How many years has it been? 25 years? 20 years? 20 years, lots changed. You know? Just food for thought, you know? I'm just saying, of all the mosh pits here in the galaxy, I wouldn't want to be standing on the one that's about to implode on itself. Like, physically implode on itself. That would suck. Like a little black hole right in the middle of your planet. Could be worse.
Okay.
I'm going to leave him with that thought. Knowing full well that there isn't a black hole inside the center of the planet. I don't think there is.
Let's let me give them a. Let's see. Okay. You push off of this crate that you're leaning on that these workers were trying to get to, and you make your departure with that final line of thought. Do you look back at all? Or do you just head out?
Yeah, I'll take a quick glance.
As you look back, the older gentleman seems to be pondering the idea. The younger one that's with him stares at you with concern. And you...
As a parting word, I'm going to shout over my shoulder. Just thought you should know. I don't expect some of the higher ups to give you this information lightly. I'm gonna look at the younger guy as I say this.
Okay. All right. And you make your departure from the resource management or the depot. That's the word I was looking for. Depot. Is there another point you would like to try out, or are you sufficient with? Are you?
I'm gonna make my way to the next class of people, like the merchants,
Okay.
and then I'm going to start again. I'm just going to listen to what they have to say.
You make your way over to the what would qualify as like a bazaar of sorts. There's no exchange of currency here, but trade does take place here, and you post up in this area on a metal bench that appears to be made out of panels of the armor of the Sawnal ore, and you just listen about the buzz of the marketplace as people make exchanges amongst one another, trading different pieces of equipment for farming purposes. People exchanging things for clothing. And as you listen into these vendors, you'll hear supplies are starting to get more and more scarce. I don't stay here much longer. I don't. We'll soon be trading in bark and leaves. I don't know how much more supplies the sun or can provide us. Hold out faith. We can make it out. Captain Hossall will secure our freedom. Believe that? Do you really believe he'll get us out of here? He killed the last group. You remember that, right? This isn't the first time. Last time, this won't be the last time. Another beacon of hope will be dangled in our faces. You'll snuff it out. Everything comes back to the Empire. Yeah. I don't know. Just hold out faith. Trust the process. We'll make it out of here. I promise. And about as much as you can gather as far as side conversations that take place during this market as people continue to trade amongst themselves.
Okay. I am actually going to pass my turn on. I'm going to think about how I'm going to work this one.
Okay.
So.
Up next, we have. Was it Manoy?
Yep.
Yep, Manoy. All right, Manoy.
You're gonna hate me for what I want to do.
It's fine. I'm excited. You try to work with the battle droids that are on patrol, and they insistently push past you. And as you try and work on them, they will shove you off and give you warnings. And you'll watch as another survivor approaches you. Please don't disturb them. They're on patrol. But can I help you? What are you doing?
I was told to fix these droids.
Do you have experience with working with robotics?
And then I look over at Scuttle. He's like, yeah, I think I have some experience.
quite the he's built quite nicely. V1 battle series and everything with your own personal touch.
I I prefer not to disturb how they are originally built because otherwise it ruins their personality, and I like them for who they are.
Okay. Well, these droids are on patrol, so let's leave them alone. But we do have some droids in our maintenance bay. Call it that. If you have experience, we'd be more than happy to have you help us with some work. Granted, the materials we have at our disposal is limited, but if you can improve their functionality, that would be wonderful.
I'll take a look later.
Okay. Well, if you head over to the east section of the retreat, you'll find a what appears to be like a workshop of sorts, and that's where the droids that are not currently on patrol are stationed at, so they can be recharged and maintained. Just talk to either Dr. Kratala. She oversees a lot of the maintenance work for these droids, or lead mechanic Rex. He's uh, uh, he's the best technician we've got.
Okay, thank you.
No worries.
I'm gonna go find that. You said his name was Rex.
Correct.
I'm gonna go to find Rex, and yeah.
All right. Rex, you go to find on the east side of camp. You'll spot as you approach this this again patchwork. Um, what appears to be like a workshop. It has a little awning over the side of one of the building on the right side, where you can see three droids currently deactive or inactive and plugged into what appears to be a solar powered generator as they recharge their power banks for the day. You approach this older gentleman, tan skin, short graying brown hair, green eyes, human, about 5'6", covered in splotches of grease from on his face, on his clothes, his hands, and his fingertips. He's currently cranking away with a hydro spanner on one of the battle droids, trying to secure a broken chassis chest plate in place with the materials that he has available.
I approach him.
Okay. He currently doesn't notice you as you approach, as he's really honed in and he's got his goggles down to protect his eyes in case there's any gouts of sparks that fly out from this droid as he works on it.
I say, excuse me.
Yeah. What can I do for you?
I'm here to offer my services for overnight shift on fixing these droids. I'm willing not to sleep, so I can work on them.
Okay. No, that won't be necessary, but yeah. You have experience with working on droids?
Yeah, I think just making sure that the planet name is Terrace, right? That I told you. I used to live on Terrace in the Undercity, and I repaired a lot of droids to be my friends there.
Oh, okay. Are you saying you're self-taught?
Yes.
Interesting. All right. Well, I mean, droids aren't necessarily my field of expertise. I worked on pulsar lift vehicles and whatnot, so more of a vehicle person, if you will. But I could use the help. Absolutely.
I'll be back in a few hours. Do you by chance know where the closest separatist ship is? I like how Archie peeked his head up as soon as I said that.
That would be the San Nolor. That's where we get all of our supplies for mending these droids.
Are there any other separatist ships within an hour distance?
I mean,
Even if they're small.
Even I mean, I'm sure there's probably some trash escape pods or something of the sort, but venturing outside of the area that we have cordoned off, it's almost suicide. Jungle's too densely populated with wildlife. I wouldn't recommend going out further than the routes that we've established. All pretty much lead to San Alor.
So this is out of character. So what I was wanting to do was go to a separatist ship over throughout the night and try and activate as many of the droids and give them new purposes. So then I could come back with an army. Or if things didn't go my plan, run like hell and scream saying, "Pack up your stuff, we're leaving."
Oh my god. You're trying to scare these people into a fucking frenzy. Alright,
That's why I said you might hate me, but now I can't do what I wanted to do. So
okay, let me take a look at the map, see if there's any possibility of finding another crash site. You're just trying to throw a whole fucking curveball at me. All right.
I want if we might need the military might. That's why I was wanting to be like a hero.
Okay. All right. Okay. All right.
By raising a droid army to basically help us with an escape plan if it all goes to shit.
I'm just saying, if you need help with the village choir saying "run like hell," I can help with that. That I know I can help with.
I mean, okay. So the retreats at the far north end of the river, just east of the fort. Okay. Yeah, they haven't ventured much further north. I'll say,
like within a 1 to 2 hour distance of walking.
This is like, to be honest, this will be like trying to find a needle in a haystack.
And I also would like to remind you. I also would like to remind you, Minoy, that we will have escorts no matter where we go.
This is true. You will not be alone, as long as you're within this camp.
I mean, we still have that speeder bike on the Grizard Fang.
Well, the Grizar Fang did return back to orbit because you guys' large footprint
right.
Wildlife attention. Right. But you did have the partner, which I doubt Raul will be willing to give to anybody else but himself. That's still back at your guys' campsite. Let's see. Yeah, you're gonna have to do. What are we gonna have to do? You're gonna need to. Do you have any scanning equipment? Personal scanning equipment.
Is that everybody?
Yeah, I mean.
Other than
no.
Does anybody have scanning equipment? General scanners?
other than the binoculars, hang on.
I was going to say the only thing I think I have is a long range transmitter, but I don't think that helps any.
Other than the data pad that Raw has, that's basically it.
Okay.
Just I have
So
computers with.
yeah, as of right now, because of the nature of this planet being vastly uncharted, um, this is going to be a formidable attempt. But you'll, without the aid of a general scanner, you could very well find yourself in a very precarious situation. That's just to be fully transparent. You can attempt to. I mean, you could also try your hand at the Sanal ore. There may be some storage, or there may still be some droids that are still stored there, but albeit buried. Half of the ship is buried underground, so there could be.
Can we
more,
not take IT with us?
IT, you have seen actively stay by Captain Parcel's side.
Traitor. Okay.
I mean, it was revealed he was Parcel's droid this whole time.
I'm gonna go to the Son lore.
Okay.
I'm gonna make sure I tell Scuttle not to come with me so it doesn't arouse suspicion.
Are you going with Archie and his group, or are you gonna try to go by yourself?
I'm gonna sleek in the shadows, really far distance away, but close enough to where if I start screaming for help, they can get to me.
All right. There's only two points of entry within the encampment, with two guard towers overwatching. This is going to be interesting. Okay. All right.
Are there fences?
Again?
Are there any fences?
Yes, there's a large perimeter fence that's encapsulated the camp against the cliff face. So you'll have to climb over the perimeter fence or go out the 2 points of entry.
What kind of fence is it?
It's patchwork paneling from the saw ore.
Okay, so it's not like a chain link or something like that.
No.
I'm gonna try and jump the fence so then nobody sees me.
I'm gonna say this is probably a 10-foot fence. Might be harder because of how high next to Dr. John.
Can I use Scuttle as like a boost?
Yeah. We're gonna have to do a series of checks here. So there we go. Let's go ahead and get a stealth check from you to start with. Trying to avoid detection. Broad daylight. I'm going to say this is probably going to be a hard check. And surprisingly enough, you succeed. Okay, look at that. I'm going to go ahead and cash in those 2 threats as a point of strain as you exert yourself trying to remain within the shadows, working the timing of the patrol of the droids on foot, and you manage to get up to the fence line. We're going to put this fence at about 15 feet. You can attempt to climb over with the help of Scuttle. Ooh, actually, Scuttle needs to make a fucking stealth check too. Point. Granted, I doubt this guy's gonna fail because his fucking cunning or agility is insane. Yep. Don't even know why I bothered. He'll take. I guess I have enough of that. Shit. Yeah, he succeeds in being stealthy as well. Not surprising. Blend. You guys get up to the wall. Let's go ahead and get a. Let's get an average athletics. Yep, average athletics check from the both of you. I'll give you 2 boost die from Scuttle because he is helping. Go ahead and roll 2 boost die as well. Okay. You get up on top of the fence, and you climb over. Let's see, based off of your stealth. Let's see. You got 2 successes on stealth. 2 successes, 2 threats, stealth. Okay. So, because that was 2 successes, this is going to be an average. I'll make this a hard perception check. Hard perception check on. Yeah, average. And let's see. I'm gonna go with that. Shit. Yeah. Yeah. You scale the wall, drop down to the other side, and you are in the clear. Surprisingly, you wait for the guard posts at the 2 guard posts to look switch their points of view, and then you kick off into the tree line. You are now by yourself in the forest. All right, this is going to be fun. What would have been your instructions for Scuttle?
Stay in the camp, kind of lurk around buildings to where it looks like I might be inside, so then people don't raise suspicion.
Okay. All right. This is interesting.
And I would also have told him that if I'm not back when Archie's back, to tell someone.
Okay. All right. Let's get into it, shall we? So we're in the jungle at this point in time, so let's switch to ambiance here.
I would like to point out, I just wrote a note. Never allow Minoy to work with droids. ... Ever.
All right. Minoy, you make your way out into the tree line, successfully avoiding the gaze of the trolling droids and the ever watchful eye of the guard towers. You find yourself alone out in the woods, the jungle. Again, the very familiar ambiance of the various chirping birds out in the forest, the cause of an unidentifiable primate, and the occasional trill of prey being caught, consumed. You watch as you make your way through the forest. As a group of survivors routinely make trips back and forth from the Sanal ore. The spaces between these groups are about 20, 30, 45 minutes in between each group. You stay in between, or stay out of the view line of these individuals, but you follow their path back towards the Sanal ore. Takes you takes you close to an hour because you're trying to maintain your stealth and not be discovered. But you managed to get to the Sanal ore by yourself. You watch as the group that Archie first entered.
Once I get to the Sanal lore, I'm going to start looking around for possible vents that might lead to the lower underground section.
Okay. You do spot several other created holes or vents in the hull of the Sanal it was created by these survivors to bring back materials.
I'm not talking about the ones created by survivors. I'm talking about some vents that were natural in the Sanal lore that would lead to the stuff that's buried.
Okay. Okay. You find a waste disposal. You have a basic understanding of how ships of this size usually deal with waste disposal. And you find the waste disposal chute that barely pokes out of the surface or below the surface of the buried section of the wreckage. It's dark. The smell is unpleasant, and you peek in, and the chute itself is encompassed in grime and slime,
Well,
creeping foliage.
thinking about it, if there was anything inside the waste disposal, it's probably dead now because there hasn't been actual waste going down there to feed it. So right now it's just pure waste, not food waste.
Right.
So this is gonna make everyone hate me, but I'm gonna try and slide down the vent.
I'm fucking loving this. All right, go ahead and give me. This is going to be a hard athletics check to maintain your balance without getting injured going down there. Let's go ahead and get that check out of the way.
It's loading right now. It's trying to send. I might have to refresh. I'll refresh.
I'm still streaming, by the way.
Yep. Go to the table. All right.
Update on me. That's why it didn't load.
Ah,
And it closed out the thing right when I clicked refresh.
are you able to get back in?
Yeah. It's still loading
Gotcha.
for some dumb reason. You said
Refresh.
athletics?
Yes, please.
There's literally no way I can beat this, by the way, unless I get a god roll.
Well, you could also cash in a token to upgrade your ability die if you want to.
Nah,
Can I?
nah,
Yeah.
nah. You did it to yourself.
Listen,
You deal with it.
listen. Manoia can choose to do it if she wants to.
I know. I'm just saying. You think this is bad? You think this is bad? Wait till Archie finds out.
Oh God.
I have
All
to
right.
cash in 2, so I'm just gonna take the fall.
Okay. So it's a failure. Okay, by 1 failure and 3 threats. Okay. As you make your way down the chute, there's a series of jagged branches that jut out of certain points of this chute. You take a point of wound from being able to dodge the branches in time, but you also impact the base of this chute incredibly hard because you were unable to slow yourself down enough to not knock the wind out of yourself. So you also take 3 points of strain as you slam into this metal base of the chute, and the wind escapes you for a moment. By this point, the light of this tunnel of the chute is non-existent. You are deep enough down that it is pitch black.
Luckily for me, I have a glow, whatever it is.
Glow rod?
Glow rod.
All right. Good. Okay. And you break out this glow rod and ignite it.
And I have a fusion lantern, so if the glow rod runs out, I guess I'm just sitting in the dark until it recharges.
And to think you were about to throw that into a Nexu's mouth and try and detonate everybody.
That would have been bad.
Okay.
I think this might take a little bit, so I think maybe pass into, unless there's something inside the waste trash.
We'll get to that Archie here in a second. I want to get you a little bit further down. You, as of right now, is very linear. There's no other routes to go down, so you continue to go deeper into this waste chute. It takes you about 10-15 minutes as you traverse deeper into this chute, and you finally find get to a point where you find a door, albeit it is rusted, and heavily corroded. And there is no power currently available to the door, but you get a sense that you could possibly get out of the chute.
I'm gonna try and use my knife to pry the door open.
Okay. All right. First thing, let's do a perception check.
Oh no. That's not a good sign.
This is going to be average difficulty because you got to find a point that would give you enough leverage to be able to do something with this door open with a knife. So no failures, 1 threat. Nice. Okay, and you cancel out the threat. You look over the rusted door, and there's a point that you spot that could act as a great point of leverage to pry this door open. Go ahead and give me a hard athletics.
You keep doing my lowest dice.
This is a physical endeavor. You have to. I'm sorry, but go ahead and, because you found a good leverage point, I'll give you a boost die for the leverage point itself, and a boost die for using a knife as a means to pry it open. 2 boosts. Try and do this.
No.
How bad was it? Let's see. Cancel out the threats entirely. Okay. Well, you don't manage to damage the knife. The knife is still functional. The door just doesn't budge. But as you try and lean into it, there's no give, and
I'm gonna pull out my toolkit and I'm gonna start welding through or cutting through.
Okay. Okay. Cut.
Having to make me use tools.
Okay. You get down on your knees to start pulling out your toolkit and find the right tools to try and cut through the door. As you do notice an access panel at the bottom right corner of the door, but you find the tools that could possibly get you through this door if you try to cut it. Or a control panel. You have two ways of trying to navigate this door. Annoying thing.
Sorry, you're really quiet for some reason.
Oh, sorry. Said as you got down on your knees to pull out the tools, you do spot what appears to be a control panel, and as you sift through your bag, you find the tools that would be sufficient enough to cut through a door like this. So you have two ways of bypassing this door as of right now.
You said there's a control panel, right?
Yes, correct.
Could I possibly wire the fusion lantern to give just enough power to open the door?
Go ahead and give me a mechanics check. Average difficulty.
Waiting for the difficulty because
All right. All right. Managed to cancel out the threat, so I can't give you a point of strength for doing so. Okay, 3 successes. You plug in the fusion lantern, and the immediate area around you begins to hum with power and lights up. Albeit it's very muted light because of how much filth is built up on the exterior walls of the chute. You do manage to light it up, and as the fusion lantern continues to funnel power into this control point, the doors do pop, and you hear a slow whirring of gears as the doors slide open.
I'm gonna unplug to see if it closes.
The immediate area, or as soon as you pull the power cables from the control panel, the lights immediately shut off, and the doors. You hear a grinding of gears from the doors, but the doors remain open in their position.
Okay, so they remain open?
Yes.
Okay, I'm gonna grab the fusion lantern and I'm gonna head inside.
All right. Let's take a quick transition of scene to where we last saw Archie and his group of escorts first entering the sauna. Archie, the
If Archie ever finds out what Manoy has done, if Archie ever finds out, he is going to ground her. Skull is going to have a droid lock on him, so he'll be deactivated for a week, and she won't be able to upgrade him or work with him at all for an entire week.
It's fine. It's fine. The trek to the sauna lore is very sullen. Not a lot of people were receptive of trying to talk to you. you get a sense on the trek here to this point. People were kind of instructed to not talk. Um, and there wasn't very much conversation taking place
Hmm.
for the 40 minutes of walking. But you enter this dark, dank wreckage of the Sadnal ore, and the, the conversation begins to start opening up as they start discussing what they can resupply their medical supplies,
Hmm.
as well as finding more parts for droid maintenance, because
Mm.
it's becoming more and more sparse.
Archie just casually goes, on our ships we actually have a Bacta supply.
You just want to, you're going to give up your backup supply
Up.
for us.
Mm.
We have
How much?
with people, but
How much medical equipment do you have left in this particular section of the ship?
this ship is fast. I mean, if we can get down to the lower depths of the ship, I'm sure we can find enough supplies to keep us held over for the next couple of years.
Mm.
But the biggest issue is getting down to the lower level.
I'm pretty sure we can add to the resources to give you guys at least another few months if it's scarce here.
Well, I did. Good. Ah,
Look, I get that you guys I've either been corralled to not talking to my herd or corralled into not talking to me, but if you want my corporation, I'm kind of going to need the same in return.
I want. We're not saying. Um, we also have the thoughts, so let's
You're
we'll
still
cross
you're
that
still
bridge
being
when we get to
Tarzan, you're basically going loud, quiet, loud, quiit, loud, quiet. You're going in and out.
it. I think my settings changed. Give me 1 second. Yep, no, echo cancellation activated and automatically adjust mic volume activated. Of course it was. There we go.
Right, there we are.
Sorry about that. That
Right.
being said, if you guys go to your settings and check out the audio settings, make sure echo cancellation and automatic adjust volume is deactivated because it will do that shit to you. And then you can turn the mic volume all the way up. Sorry about that. He was
Ah,
saying,
there we go.
he was saying,
Mhm.
we're not saying no, but we are here for droid supplies, and that we'll cross that bridge when we get to it. But for now, let's focus on Nestor.
Yeah, by all means.
You guys venture in deeper into the Sadnal ore. The constant dripping of moisture from the buildup of condensation on metal uh, gives you a very eerie feeling, as not a day before you were just attacked by Nexu, enhanced
Hmm.
Nexu, very
Archie's
corridors.
hair is a little bit. Archie's hair is a little bit standing out because he's looking at like corners. He's looking at like vents where Nectar can jump out. He's
Yeah,
just sort of like. Mm.
ventilation shafts. Go ahead and give me an average perception check as you navigate these corridors.
Alrighty. Not much strength, but yeah.
Failures are.
I see jack shit. I don't see
See if
much.
the survivors do. Nope. Okay. You guys make your way through these corridors to a heavily impacted, or not heavily, slightly caved in section of the corridors where you last left off.
Mm.
There's a glass door that's concave, um, looks like there's a little bit of pooling of water at this doorway,
Mm.
and the survivors point at this door and say, "Further down this corridor is the medical facilities that we haven't
Mm.
looked at.
Do you need me to open it?
Can you?"
Find out. Just gonna walk over and just sort of.
As you ask this question, or you'll notice that they do have like crowbars in hand and whatnot, um, or this galaxy's equivalent of crowbars, and they
Mhm.
weren't entirely too confident in their ability to try and get this door open, but your impressive size and stature and strong, it's like,
Yeah, I was about to say,
I
it's
mean,
like,
if any of us are going to be able to do it, it's you.
yeah, I just walk over to it, kind of like gauge the door, gauge how concave it is, and where would the best spot to
Okay. Give me a mechanics check real quick. This is going to be an average difficulty, just to assess how hard it will be to, or what the best point of it would be to try and manipulate this door.
I'm not Monoi. This is one of my weakest points.
Okay. All right.
Fuck it.
That's
I'm
fine.
good at a few. I'm good at a few things, just not that.
Um, you look over this door, and yeah, like you said, this isn't your expertise, but you pause for a moment to try and gauge how to manipulate this door. And
Mhm.
one of the survivors behind you, like, would it help if we helped you?
It would be greatly appreciated, yeah, just to pinpoint which section is easier to grab.
Um, and the five of them will rush up and begin placing these makeshift crowbars into the uh, interlocking sections of this door, and
Hmm.
they pry it enough to open to barely, but and I mean barely enough to give you enough ample room to get your
Just get
fingertips
the
in
hands
through.
in and start like
Yeah.
trying to like yank this thing open. Okay.
They get it open slightly enough, just so you can get your fingertips into this groove.
I'll take
Go
it.
ahead and give me. This is going to be a hard. This is going to be daunting. Actually, this is a heavy fucking door, and it's
Oh
very damaging.
boy.
Daunting
Would I
difficulty.
get would I get a boost die because they have the crowbars in place to like help with this?
I'm going to give you. I'll give you 5 boost die because you're not doing it alone. You got 5 people helping you do this door.
That's 10 dice that I'm rolling. I got 5 in athletics and 5 boost die. Come on.
Yeah. Let's go. All right. Whoa! All right.
Yes!
Jesus.
I'm
Success is
marking.
not enough rest for me to cash in a fucking strain. Damn it. All right.
I'm good at one thing. I'm good at a few things. This is one of the things I'm good at.
The strip you exert yourself as the 6 of you pry on this door, the metal groaning under the pressure as you persist into prying this door open, and eventually the door is
It's just a
pry open.
loud, uncomfortable grinding noise as the hands get in and I'll just start like pushing and then I get a leg down and just start because I know the interlocking is like a 4-post door, so if you get that open you have to like use your entire body to like push this thing open and then I step through and go, okay. It's just kind of just like
All right.
just crack my entire spine. Just like, I got my exercise for the day.
You get this door open with relative ease. As soon as you were able to get your fingertips into the door or the grooves, it was game over for this door. There's no stopping it.
How did the survivors look? Because I know they probably tried to pry this door open multiple times.
Oh
try and
yes,
get trying to get in, and then just
they are. They've been here for 20 years and they have not been able to get that fucking door open, even with more people.
one oversized Wookiee just comes in and goes, all right, come on, let's
Yeah,
go.
they look at you with complete awe. You, we've been honestly, we've been at this door with at least 20 people before. That's a lie. It was about 10 people, but even then, still couldn't get the door open. We
Hey,
just pried it open numerous times.
corporation. Now, medical supplies is down this corridor.
Yeah, yeah. Medical supplies are going to be on the corridor, the offices on the right side. And then there's a back to reservoir at the very back of this medical
Okay.
center. As you,
Any malfunctioning security systems that we should be aware about?
we're that's already covered by us.
Okay. At that point, I just walk forward.
As he
Just
says
like,
that, he points to the badge that's hanging from his lapel. We got
mm,
badges to take care of the security measures for now.
okay.
As you look deeper into this corridor, the water gets deeper and deeper the further in you get. As of right now, it's about ankle deep. About
Hmm.
the way that this corridor is angled, it's about a half an inch drop every couple of feet.
Mm-hmm.
Um, so you get a good sense that this water gets probably about either waist or chest deep at certain points of this corridor.
Okay. I'm just gonna, cause I've gathered like a few sticks and rocks just for this specific reason. I'll just take out a rock and just toss it into the water just to see if anything moves.
Okay. You toss it into the water, and you watch the ripples expel from the point of impact, and
Mm,
disturb. There's no disturbances to the ripples that was caused by that rock.
okay. I'm gonna pull out the force pike and go in front of everyone. I'm going, just point me where to go, and we're gonna take it slowly. And I'm basically gonna use the force pike as like a weight stick. So basically, every step I tap the ground to see if it's faulty. Because yeah, it's deep, so you might not be able to, and because it's dark in here, you can't really see the bottom. So it's kind of
Right.
one of those tap, 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 tap. If it goes tap through, gonna gesture to everyone to go around that particular
Okay.
section and just like do a couple taps around just to make sure that we're not
Clever.
gonna
Okay.
just to not they're like if you're going through the Amazon in the swamps of the Amazon, you take a big stick and you start prodding the ground just to make sure you're
Okay.
not gonna, just to make sure no snapping turtles or anacondas are gonna give you a bad day.
I like it. That's very clever. Looking out for any false bottoms or possible cave-ins that could plummet you deeper into the depths of this ship.
Yep, or
Uh,
make us drown because the ship collapsed on us.
yeah, I like this. Okay, very clever. Um, go ahead and this is going to be average difficulty, just an average perception check as you make your guys' way down this corridor.
Okay. Please, come on, give me something good here. Come
Good,
on.
good.
Okay,
All right.
okay.
Um, you do as you progress forward into this corridor. Uh, the water level steadily grows higher and higher up on you. It gets about knee
Mhm.
deep at this point. As you continue to check the floor stabilization. It feels fairly solid and stable for the most part. And you progress to the first offices. There's what appears to be like a administration office to the left, and then operation room to the right.
Okay. I just basically tell them, if you go to the back to stuff, I'm gonna actually check out the administration because there might be a shipping log because there might be more stuff here that might help everyone and us.
Okay. All right. Okay. I like this. The survivors go into the give you a nod and proceed into the operating room for medical supplies. Let's get and what is it? Do they have investigation on here? No, they do not. Let's go with.
Would it be skullduggery? I don't know if that would work,
No,
but
skullduggery. Skullduggery is more of a
luck picking kind of deal.
kind
Like,
kind of like that. Yeah.
yeah.
Um, this is an intelligence check of sorts because you have to know what you're looking for when you're
Mm.
looking for these items and supplies. So
Uh.
I'm gonna go with we're gonna go with education.
Okay.
Because but because they know what they're looking for, I'm gonna give them two boost die for their check.
Mhm.
Um, and then
Okay. Well, let's find out. I'm not the brightest bulb in the bunch, but I do okay.
gonna be average difficulty. Uh, yeah, unfortunately,
Mm.
you don't succeed.
Mm.
But the survivors do manage to find uh fairly well maintained surgical equipment as well as a tank of anesthesia.
Mm.
Um,
Uh, I would say anything that is loose of a data pad, of anything that resembling a data pad, is going in a bag. It's
okay,
like, I'll get someone
you
else who's smarter than me to look through this.
you find a what you do find a data pad that's sitting on the office desk of um
Mm.
and as well as say a disk drive, the Star Wars
Ah,
Galaxy's equivalent of disk drive.
okay. Yeah, I guess put in the bag and just holstered over. And
All
just kind
right.
of like, I just walk out, wad into the water as they come out of the medical area and like, okay, you said droid parts, right?
Droid parts, yeah, but we just found uh, surgical supplies and a tank of anesthesia. We still need to find bandaging equipment as well as disinfectants. So that looks like
Well,
all the data here.
you lead, I follow. I'm more than happy to carry the bags.
All right. One of them hands you the tank of anesthesia. It is very
It
heavy.
just gets put on my shoulders. I can carry a lot of weight.
It
I know
it
that
was
for a fact.
it was taking two of them to carry that tank
Yeah,
comfortably.
just
So
like, I don't know, just big meaty hand just comes in, is like, don't worry, I got it, and just swing it around, just kind of like adjust the back accordingly so I can have the best amount of counterweight.
hmm. You watch as the five of them take point and begin to press further into the tunnels or the corridor. The water slowly begins to get higher, reaching just above the navel. Um, and you approach
Mm.
another set of rooms. What appears to be some type of administration office and triage room, sorts on the right.
I'm actually gonna say I'll take triage. I think I know that a little bit better. You guys take admin, data files, shipping logs, anything that your doctor might need. Especially locations of any extra or secret compartments that might be useful.
All right.
I'm gonna go to the triage and take a little wander and see what I
All
can
right.
find.
Sounds good.
Actually, I'll ask if we can split, so three go in the admin and two come with me. So that way
Okay.
it's like cover more ground.
Okay. All right. That sounds doable. Um. Yeah. Three of them go into uh, the administration office, and the other two follow you. And you guys do a quick sweep of these two rooms. Um,
Hmm.
give me an average education check.
But I get two boost die because of the people that are with me.
Yes.
Okay. I'm doing skills that I'm not used to. Uh,
Okay. Three successes for the survivors in the administration, and
yeah,
you
one success, three advantage. So.
will fail the. All right. You find you just find a barely serviceable med pack. Um,
It is better than nothing, so that goes in the medical bag.
yeah, you guys. The Yeah, it still has bandages in it, but the medicine that's with it well past its expiration point.
Hmm.
Um, the seal wasn't properly maintained, so it's wet. The medicine itself is compromised. Even if they, yeah, it's just you basically just have extra bandages.
Hmm.
The other two, however, or the other three, emerge out of the administration office and hold up a series of what appears to be data chips or disk drives, essentially,
Mm.
and another pad. We looked into these. These are files on treatments for illnesses. Probably help out a lot of our cases.
To be fair, it's good to teach potential nurses on treatments, particularly being creative.
That was the thought as well. All right. Did you guys find anything
We found, and
substantial?
I'll just show the partially useful med pack. Not much.
We're gonna need something more than that. Arsal will have our asses.
Worst comes to worst again, we just grab some fresh Bacta from the ship. He'd be none the wiser.
All right, let's try the supply room from the back. That's where all the back
Hmm.
stored. Um,
Okay.
you guys proceed further into the corridor. This water gets about chest deep.
Mm.
The further back you go,
Also, it's
it,
kind of
it,
like a bit like a almost like there's a massive dip in one section, then it kind of like goes up a little bit, so it goes from
yeah.
navel down to chest. Okay, makes
Um,
sense.
yeah, it rises a little bit for you, but because of thanks to your stature, but these survivors are
Okay.
about neck deep at this point.
Yeah, so at that point, I just kind of like gesture for them to grab onto each other's lapels, and for the one straight behind me to grab onto the back of my bandolier.
Mhm.
So that way, I can use my immense bulk if any of them go under, just to start like yanking and pulling. So that way they can
Okay,
keep going.
it's a smart move. I like it. Okay,
Yeah,
you
so
leading the
it's
charge.
basically tap 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 tap, but just safety net.
All right, go ahead and give me one more perception check as you proceed further.
Okay. Cool.
Yep. I'll give you a boost because of the force spike as a seeing stick, essentially.
Is
Ooh, okay.
uh,
All right. You still failed, but you have advantages. Um, I like this. I like this. You get a little overly confident at this point in time because you don't feel like there's going to be much to worry about in the realm of stable flooring, and
mm,
you start spacing out the intervals of when you test the flooring ahead of you, and luckily you rolled enough advantages. Um, you get the gut sensation of falling as your foot proceeds further than what you expected, and you
yeah,
manage to catch yourself thanks to
yep,
the survivors holding onto your bandolier from
yep.
behind.
So it's just like, it's
Yeah,
just like the foot immediately goes back onto solid ground, and I just kind of like use the force point to see how deep it goes. If
there is no bottom.
How far away is the door to the supply room? Do we have to jump over, or is it? Can we get
It's about
around?
it's about 10 foot distance from you right now. Again, mind you, you're about nipple height with the water. The
Mm-hmm.
survivors are now having to tilt their heads up to try and
Yeah.
breathe
Yeah.
without having to stand on. They're standing on their toes,
Oh
so
boy.
their footing's not very stable. Um,
Mm.
but you could swim if you're. I mean, you're probably pretty heavy right now with the amount of people hanging on to you and the amount of food you
Yeah.
carry.
So in that case, I just basically gesture for them to back up. So we back up till their, it gets a little bit lower for them.
Mhm.
I take off the bags, hand it
Okay.
to them, and just go. I'm gonna go. Because you guys, no offense, but getting up to here and you having to do this, and when it's down here on me,
Okay. Well, at least I mean, you want to throw pry bar at least maybe the
I
door.
just look at him deadpan and go, "You saw what I did with the door, right?"
Oh, fingers of speech. I don't know.
I gestured to the force pike. It's like, need be, I have my own crowbar.
All right. Just be careful. All right. This section of the ship hasn't been explored very well, so we don't know what's in there.
Yeah, it's not too different to the other separatist ships that crash landed on Kashyyyk during the battle.
Before you go, here, take my badge. The security on the supply storage for
Hmm.
medical supplies is pretty uptight.
Yeah, I'd recommend all of you get to where it was at least waist deep for you all, so that way it's easier to get out if things go wrong.
Okay. Don't take too long. All right. I don't have out chasing you down.
You could try. Just turn around and go back.
All right. You proceed further now with the weight shedded.
Hmm.
Treading water is going to be a lot easier for you. So go ahead
Yeah,
and give me an easy athletics check to swim across this massive hole.
yeah.
I don't know why I bothered.
I was about to say, you sure want to try and roll?
uh, yeah, no. Yeah, had it gone any differently, yeah, you would have been rolling with so many setbacks with 5 people hanging on to
Yeah, no.
you.
This
Probably
is why.
still would have fucking survived it, but yeah.
Yeah. Well, no, they might not have. That's the thing.
Oh, yeah.
That's
Oh,
why I told
yeah.
them to go. That's why I told them to go back because I'm like, I'm trying to make it
Some
nice
of
for
them
these
definitely would have
people.
been fucking. Some of them
Yeah.
would have been fucked 100%.
Yeah.
But yeah, you swim across, manage to find footing once more on the other side of this uh, essentially sinkhole, and you get to the door. Uh,
Mm.
you position find secure enough footing, albeit it is the floor beneath your feet is very slimy due to the nature of being submerged in water. So
If need be,
you
I will dig my toes into that slime and grip if I need to.
give
But
me a. This is gonna be again still daunting, but I'll give you two. Well, yeah, I'll give you two boosts to try and pull this off. I'm also gonna give you a setback because of the nature of the flooring, uh, but I think you'll be able to pull it off just fine because this is gonna be an athletics check.
okay, and a boost die as well.
Yep.
Okay.
Okay. Technically, it still would be a failure, but with the amount of advantages that you have still on top of that,
Yeah.
um,
Just
it's a
making
slow
it,
process. It's a
yeah,
slow fucking
slow.
process.
But
Um,
compared to like going from air environment to water environment, everything's going to be double in weight. So yeah,
yeah,
it is going to take a hot minute. Also, lifting something up, water's going to rush in. So that's another like added thing. And
yeah,
I don't think I was accounting for it to be quick. I was accounting for of like I will happily keep my stable footing and give this 3 strong tries before going back and saying it's a failure because I'd rather take my
yeah.
time with this. That way, I'm not going to go like under the water with the rush of water that
Okay.
goes into there.
That's smart thinking. Okay, so you secure with that thought process in mind. You kind of use the the cave the floor that gave out as a means of like an angled foothold in case the water
Mm-hmm.
that's currently about chest high on you comes rushing forward. If this is an air pocket that you're about to break into, you hear the groaning of metal
Mm-hmm.
as you begin to pry with the force pike, and it takes you about 10-15 minutes of considerable forced effort with the
Yeah.
weight of the water on top of this door. Uh,
Mm-hmm.
you finally get a crack, and the water begins to seep through. You
Yep.
can hear it rushing through the barely open uh, section, and you take your hands and begin to pry it open with yourself on off to one side, so you can use the door as a platform to keep yourself stable and not
Mm-hmm.
slide in. And the further the door opens, the more fervent the water becomes. It's
Yeah,
and
this is what Archie was expecting. Of just like, because when he was like in Kashyyyk and there was water rushing through, like he knows if there's rocks, and the minute you push one of those rocks and the water gets a foothold, it all goes in. So it's just
yeah,
sort of like him using that knowledge of just like slow kind of moment,
yeah,
just like slowly.
yeah, yeah. You get that door open. The water quickly rushes from about chest high to you down to about navel level, then just below the hips,
Mm,
before the room finally fills. The room that you open fills up with water and stabilizes. Uh,
mm. What's
at this point,
actually what's in here?
as you look in, go ahead, give me a perception check. Do you have a glow rod at all?
I would think I would. Doesn't state it on
If
my
you didn't have
equipment.
one yourself, the the,
Yeah,
the, the survivors would have gave you one.
yeah. So
Okay, so
I would have a glow rod. Yeah.
okay, go ahead and give me an average perception check with a boost.
Okay.
It's
Uh,
okay.
yeah.
Um,
It's not great.
your your knowledge of medical equipment is not very
Mm-mm.
vast. You just know the basics. You know what a field triage kit kind of looks like,
Mm-hmm.
especially after you just found one that was barely serviceable. Um,
They had to be a bag of like anesthesia and other like surgical equipment, so at least I have some other items that I can look for. But
yeah,
they were hoping for like fresh Bacta and other
yeah, right.
things.
Um, you you do spot several cylinders, but they're not translucent. You don't know what's in it. Um, so with that, you could re- revert to your friends or the survivors behind you. But as you turn to
Okay.
look back, you the water that was keeping you that was allowing you to swim across has sunk below
Hmm.
and, is now it, the area that they're standing in completely dry. But
Yeah.
the 10-foot crossing is now it's has water in it, but
Hmm.
they have to jump across as well as you to be able to get across this.
Yeah. So I actually gestured for them to like come over and then tell them to stop when it gets to the jump.
Mhm.
And I go, okay, guide me through. Guide me through what I'm looking for. And I can toss it over for safety reasons. Because, and I look down at the water, I ain't trusting that.
Okay. Um. All right. So what you're looking for is sterilization equipment. We need iodine, alcohol, things to treat infections. Uh, they will
Mm-hmm.
be kept in a parcel, usually plastic, a hard type plasteel of sorts that will keep it from being damaged from impact and whatnot. Uh, those will be located on walls, usually. Um, the Bacta that we need. It's going to be in a silver cylinder, Durasteel container. Um, it will have in Orabesh the words Bacta.
I
You'll
pick up
be
one of
able
the
to read.
I pick up one of the cylinders I found, and I'm like this.
Yeah, that's it.
it's just
You
like
found
it's
it.
like as he says that, I just walk over. And like, how many cylinders are in here? Essentially,
As you look around, there's about 10.
we got just under a dozen back to cylinders in here.
Oh, that's perfect. Yeah, toss them over.
Are you sure you're gonna be able to catch them? That's my first question to them.
Just don't fucking chuck it. Just lob it to us. It should be fine.
Okay, I'll just lob the first one.
Okay. Yeah, it's a fairly easy process,
Yeah.
especially with all 5 of them lined up to
Mhm.
try and to cover each other if somebody does slip. Um, and you manage to toss over all 10 cylinders.
Yeah,
No
and
problem.
I also go to the walls and see if I can find any of the like plasteel things they mentioned of the antibacterial stuff to help with infections,
Yep.
as well as med packs, stim packs, like anything.
Gotcha. Go ahead and give me a average education check. This is going to give you. I'll give you 3 boosts for this one.
Yeah,
I
because
have a
they're basically going, no, not that one, yes, that one, grab that, grab this, grab that, don't grab that, please do not touch that, kind of thing. Just like, it's like,
Yeah.
okay, just trying to like, what, I'm being their surgical hands right now, trying to figure out
Yeah.
what I can grab here and there.
You managed. Okay, with that skill check, you managed to find all 4 fully kitted sterilization packs, triage kits, essentially.
Yep,
Um,
they get
the
lobbed over the jump, and
You'll
just
find a satchel with 5 serviceable med kits, and a
okay.
container full of stim vials for the stim pack.
Ah, okay. So I'll actually put them on me because I'm now gonna come back and I'm gonna. I tell them move back about 20 feet. Give me some landing room as I just kind of just like gauge how far I need to jump and just like. Would this be a
Okay,
standing jump, or I'm gonna have to take a step back and slosh my
I
way
mean
over and leap?
the water's about knee high on you, so either way, you're going to be having some level of resistance. But if you decide to do a running jump, it will. I'll give you a boost. But you'll
I'm
also have
gonna
to go
do.
back.
Yeah, I'm gonna do a running jump.
Okay,
just, just,
this is
just
gonna.
like, just cause
What's your brawn?
my brawn is 5.
Minus 5. Okay. Um, 10-foot jump, running. I'll give that an average difficulty with the setback, and then yeah, you got the boost for the
With
running.
an athletics jump.
Yep. Okay. Yeah. No
Yeah,
problem. You just
it's just like literally like just going slosh, 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 walk,
yeah.
just like
The
landing on the other side.
survivors watch as you saunter through this knee high water,
Honestly,
and
that might be a terrifying sight of hearing a Wookiee grunt, leap, and land. Just
yeah,
like
the as you manage to find footing on the other side, the metal beneath your feet does groan with the strain, but yeah, you landed securely
it
enough.
goes from slightly terrifying to a little bit funny when the Wookiee like plants his feet a little bit evenly to catch balance to stop the groaning.
Yeah. Minoy, this does raise a good point. You're not as you're navigating these lower corridors. There is a noticeable shift in air quality as the force of water is being shifted from one point to another. You'll feel this vacuum kind of form in the form of a shift in the air as it blows past you, um, and up into this vent above. Um,
Can I pull out my comms and say on the comms, I'm going to go radio silent. I think something's down here. Because I don't know what that is. It's just a big, for me, it's kind of like a big breath.
Yeah, I would say it probably does sound like a huge breath to you, along with the groaning of the metal. Yeah, you wouldn't. You're a couple levels down. You wouldn't hear Archie fucking sauntering through water like a tank, but you would hear the shift in air quality from a vacuum kind of effect from the water. Um, yeah, you call out on the radio.
And then I'll turn off the comm links after I say it.
It's just kind of like pull
Archie?
my handheld comlink out.
Archie, you get a very staticky communication from a very familiar voice.
Can I deduce because it's a handheld comlink means it's within close enough range?
Yeah,
And I know exactly who it is.
very familiar voice, and yeah, it's within communication range.
Yep. And at which point I hear the because basically she turns her comlink off.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just like, I am so going to ground her. It's just like that growl, and then it comes out in this like long bellow roar that probably echoes down to where Manoi is, just echoing through the water or whatever, or through the vents or something. And I just holster the comlink. I'm like, droid parts, droid parts. We're gonna go get droid parts now.
Mm. The survivors do look at you quizzically. They too heard the voice coming from your
Yeah, I just kind of go secondary surveying team with escorts.
He doesn't know. I don't have escorts.
No, I don't. But that's what I'm telling the truth. Like that's what I'm going with on the way of thinking Minoi has escorts with her to help with whatever she needs.
You turn to begin to depart from the medical section of the Sadalor. With secure footing, there's no water obscuring your vision of the floor beneath your feet.
Mm-hmm.
Make your way out. Off in the distance, down the corridor, you hear the
I just stop and I just say to the team, please tell me the doctor sent cybernetic Nexus to come help us.
That's where we'll go to break.
Okay.
I'm just now realizing there's actually something down here, and I am not happy for it.
And you just went radio silent.
All right, go ahead. To all you, to the viewers, thanks for tuning in. Go ahead and take a quick 5-minute break to do whatever you got to do, bio breaks and all that good stuff. Refill your drinks. We'll be back in 5 minutes. Don't go anywhere. Hello and welcome back to all you wonderful Tubi Dicers. How are we feeling? How's everybody looking? What's the
Mm.
vibe out there? Um, Welcome back to Tubi Dice Adventures: Edge of the Empire. Let's do a quick little announcements for the rest of the week, as well as personal endeavors that uh, we, as a community, have in our own little personal ambitions. Um, the rest of the week that we got going on, again, as I mentioned in my last update for the slates this week, Wednesdays, Dimensional Dial will not be returning for the time being, as we worked out scheduling, as things did not work out the way that we were hoping for. So the Dimensional Dial of Dr. Diego is on a indefinite hold, uh, as we work out those logistical issues. Um, that being said, Tales of Barden Thursday at 7 p.m. instead of 7:30. Just give us a little extra half hour to work with the people that we like to play with. So tune in Thursday for Tales of Barden. As far as personal ambitions or services that are provided, the GM of Tales of Arden is a insanely skilled codist. If you would like your own custom work, you can check him out at Claybear Studios on TikTok, as well as the website. He makes all this cool mugs, as well as other items that you can have crafted, as well as uh, other services. Um, for myself, Edge of the Empire, I am a commissioned GM on Start Playing Games. If you would like to embark on your own mini adventure in Star Wars, I provide a adventure service for you guys for only $15. Commission me for that, and I can walk you or tell your story and how you would take on certain adventures, like the Duel of Yavin, where a group of adventurers take on a heist to steal an unstealable jewel. Um, would you do it differently than how the core Atlas crew did it? You can do it the same way. It's your adventure, truth told, and I offer that service for those of you that would be interested. You can find me at startplaying.games/GM /Tarzan82855 if you would like to check out my services that I provide. I got three tiers that I offer: $5 for one shots, 15 for adventure modules, and 25 for campaign design entirely around you. That being said, that's all I have. Is there anything else that we would like to announce in the 2B Dice sphere?
Um, some of the viewers might have seen my one shot as well. That is based off of the Dimensional Dial side story, and that is also on hold as well as far as scheduling goes. But as it is a one shot and it's just the second part, maybe sometime in the future there might be a night where schedules coincide and we can get that one shot off.
Yeah,
So, yeah.
I like it. All right, that is it for our announcements. Again, you can tune in all the usual times for our that's not right. For our streams, 7:30 Mountain Standard Time for Edge of the Empire, 7 o'clock for Tales of Arden, and be on the lookout for any additional shows that we might hold. Um, and we appreciate and love your guys' support. Uh, for the time being, get back to the adventure. Raw.
Yes.
How are we feeling? What are we up to? You last said you were shopping ideas on how to improve the defensive capabilities of this encampment.
Yes. Yes. Is there any fertilizer in the camp?
Hmm, not much, especially given that you killed two of their only means of procuring any type of fertilizer.
Okay.
They have a substantial amount, but especially with two of their next two down, they're not going to be able to maintain the level of quality that they, or quantity that they were able to produce.
Well, I would only need a couple pounds worth, not a lot. Like literally, like maybe 3 pounds tops.
Yeah, I'm sure you could find a store of what little manure that they had left that facilitates that amount.
Um. Okay. I'm going to spend maybe like an hour or two grinding up some wildflower to make some powder, and then boiling that with the fertilizer in some kind of makeshift pan if they have one. And I'm what I'm doing is I'm making homemade smoke bombs, and I'm putting this substance together. And if they have any detonator fuses on hand, or anything like twine or anything that can be used like a detonator fuse, I'm going to make smoke bomb traps around the perimeter. So for like an early warning kind of situation, if someone's trying to sneak up on the establishment.
Gotcha. Um, yeah, your escort, this um, quali- qualish male individual by the name of Cal. He watches you quizzically as you that as you go about this business. What are you what are you making? What is this?
Well, it's a smoke bomb. You ever heard of those? I know you don't have military grade stuff here, so this is the best we could do right now, and this is gonna help give you like a little bit of an early warning system in case someone tries to sneak up on the the camp in the night or in the day rather.
Okay. Um, the qualish individuals. Tao gives an not entirely confident smirk, but fairly impressed as he watches you work. And you ask for an ignition system of sorts, and
Or if they have any fire paste, that'd work as well.
if they did, they expended it probably the first 10, 15 years.
Probably.
It's so you, you're fairly techy enough. You could help. You could create something that would be sufficient enough to be a type of fuse detonation system. Go ahead and give me with the limited supplies that you have at hand. This is going to be a hard check, but a hard mechanics
Sure.
uh, check. See if you can make something serviceable enough to act as a type of fuse.
Sure, sure. Damn it. Hmm. Well, that sucks.
Yeah, unfortunately, with the tech that's available at right now, at least with the camp, uh, the, you're not able to come up with something that
Do I
will
have any?
function properly unless you're willing to
Yeah.
sacrifice some of your own equipment to try and pull this off.
I mean, I don't have anything that could produce the same thing unless, hang on now, I do have.
Closed circuit system, i.e., anything with power that you can close the circuit breaker and trigger a reaction.
I can
Um,
try rolling another mechanics check to do my contraption action.
Go ahead, give me another check. What's the difficulty for that?
Hard.
Another hard check. Okay,
So, yeah.
all right. Rolling another hard check for your ability. Oh shit!
I don't know if I can beat that. And no, it's not happening. Well, okay.
Yeah. The only way you're going to be able to pull this off is if you sacrifice some of your own gear to try and pull this off. Because you got a lot of electrical components on your person that you could sacrifice the vibro knife's power source to create a open circuit breaker system where the way to trigger the trap would be to compress that circuit breaker to close it, so it'll provide a fuel power source to the ignition system and ignite the accelerant. Uh,
I
so
have glow rods and what's the utility called? No, just a pocket. Okay, never mind.
okay.
Yeah,
How
I
many
have glow rods. That's
how
about
many
it.
glow rods you got?
5.
Okay, you can if you sacrifice those 5 glow rods, you can create 5 improvised smoke devices.
Sure, I'll do that.
Okay, this is going to be a simple or an easy mechanics check. Your final check. If you can't beat this, then I don't know what to tell you, buddy.
An easy mechanics check. Here we go.
Yep.
Oh my.
Custom force, my friend. Damn.
I don't trust the force. It's fine. You know, it's fine. It's just not in the cards.
Yeah.
Um,
Sorry, buddy.
can I reassemble the glow rod then, if since it failed, or are those spent?
I'm gonna say they're spent because you had I mean, you
That's
don't
fair.
have like a soldering tool to reconnect the wires. Now
Well,
is
okay.
separated and has to be physically closed. So
If I couldn't do it on just one, I wouldn't have taken all
yeah,
5 apart.
that would be true. You would have tested done a
Okay.
test fire, so I would say only at least one of them
All right. I
destroyed.
will do that.
So yeah, you
Okay.
try to test this equipment out. This attempt creating the improvised smoke device, and it's just not getting enough power for the accelerant to ignite it. So
Mm,
you have to try and
okay.
find something else that has more fuel to ignite the accelerant. That being
Raw
said,
takes all the materials and throws them into the makeshift fire. Like, well, that was a bust, and let's move on to something else. Is Dr. Katala around here?
Bertala, he's probably overseeing either droid maintenance or tending to the pets.
Right, could you lead it to me, please? Don't know where that is. That around the back? Is it around this corner here? Pointing to where he had last met with Dr. Katala in the next scene.
Yeah, the kennels. Yeah. He nods. Yeah. What do you need to talk to them for?
Well, I just want to make sure she had asked me before to try to find some cybernetic parts for her and her little pets, and just trying to see what all she needs exactly. And I'll head that way now since I couldn't really do anything for defenses at the moment.
All right, come with me. He leads you to the back where the kennels are. There you'll see Kurtala, Doctor Kurtala, working on her the two injured Nexu. One of them which is currently sedated as she works on mending the wounds, and she's just honed in, focused as she stitches the blade wound that's all too familiar that you left on one of them. And she, without looking up, what can I do for you?
Right, you wanted to see me yesterday, and you discussed getting some things to help in your research. Do you know exactly what you want? I'm going there now, so speak now, forever hold your peace.
I need my research material to help secure my work. My offices will be in the lower depths of the structure, the sauna ore. Um, my work is extremely vital to me. I need to make sure that it makes it out quick. Um,
Right, do you have a blueprint of the ship so I can actively get there faster?
you think you're going there without me? You're out of, that's out of the question. You'll be escorted.
Oh, you want to come too? Or well, I can only provide you a modicum of safety. I mean, I can defend myself just fine, but protecting another is something else. So you're putting your own life in your own hands. Do you
The
trust me enough?
one of the assistants that's assisting her with the next year speaks up. We lose you out there, we'll be lost. I must. I must express my that I do not support this line of progression, Doctor. We can't afford to lose you. I can't afford. What?
And on the other hand, if you don't come, I don't know exactly what you're looking for unless you give me a precise description.
I, mm, I don't mean to be condescending. You wouldn't be able to grasp what
It's fair.
I need to be there to ensure that my work escapes this. So I'm sorry, it's out of the question. There's no other way to go about this. I have to go with
Right, then
it.
you
Nope.
have my word. I'll do my best to keep you safe.
Doctor, you know Captain Hostel is not going to be okay with this. It's okay. Well, to protect me. It's more than capable. Um, just if you insist on informing Captain Hostel, just give me some time to make it to the ship before you send him out. Please. Okay, Doctor. Okay. The assistant leaves the room, um, leading the gurney that holds that the incapacitated next to is strapped to, and takes it to the kennels to secure it to the ship. It's just the two of you now. Oh, I don't know how long you'll be inclined to live with us, so I suppose now is now the time.
Right. You have any kind of excavating gear around here? Maybe an exploiter droid around here? Maybe you could take with us.
Um, if we did, we probably would have excavated the sun a long time ago.
Fair point. Right. Then I guess we gotta do this old-fashioned way. Do you have a shovel?
yes, sure we can figure one way out.
Right. And let's go grab those and let's head out.
Okay. Just follow my lead. So we're going to be racing a lot of questions on our way out. Oh, and we're listening to the wrong sound. I forgot. I am sorry. There we go.
There's water everywhere.
There we go. This is a lot better. Stuck on the Sonalore. The two of you make your way out of the kennels towards and make your way towards the front gates. Um, a lot of people are eyeing you as you pass by with Dr. Chikala. You are stopped. Why is it still going? Sorry. Where's my move? I can still hear the echo of the fucking creak for Kevin. Why? There we go. Stop. There we go. Nope. Keep
Nope,
going.
still going. There it is.
There we go. Okay. That was distracting. A lot of the survivors eyeing you very concernedly, with a very concerned look on their faces as you begin to make your departure from the camp. But as you get to the gate, two of the survivors interpose themselves. Where are you going, Doctor Caller? You know, Captain Hawkins, you won't prove the body. Camp. Too important. I My escort here will be helping me cover my research aboard the Sadnal ore. Please let us go. Did Captain
Basically,
Hustle?
we're gonna do what you lot are too scared to do. We'll take care of this and get you all right as rain so that you can get out of here.
Did Captain Hustle? Yes, you must go talk to him. But we have a time schedule, and the sun will be getting low soon, so we need to move with the utmost urgency. All right, Doctor Hustle. You're lying. We'll be on you. Well aware of the consequences. But, keep an eye out for us on our way back. They step aside as Dr. Chikala looks back at you with a seemingly confident expression as she begins to proceed forth, beckoning you to follow.
Right. Um, we had tents on the not the wind, correct? Because we had a bunch of survivor gear when we head out.
Yeah.
Tents included amongst
Well,
that.
the tents would have been at your campsite. You used that.
Okay, well, we're stopping by the campsite then.
Campsite's by the sauna floor.
Well, then that's on the way.
All right, so you guys make your way down to. It takes about 45 minutes to make it down to the campsite. Man, everybody's outside the fucking wire now. All except for Dar. He's still
Yep.
chilling with the old survivors, as well as Chav. Um, 45 minutes go by as you make your way to the camp or the Sanalor. You are able to spot the camp on the far side of the wreckage, where you see the night flyer still camped in the middle or parked in the middle of your camp. Um, and you don't. Doctor Paula seems to be making her way directly to the ship itself. This is when you try to slip away, or you staying with the doctor. You're muted. Muted.
I'm not slipping away. I'm just gonna go pick up the partner and my heavy clothing and a tent. It's not gonna be something is gonna hide. It's all practical things.
I mean, it's going to take you about 20 minutes to get there because it's not 10, 20, about 15 minutes to get there. But the doctor's heading in a completely different direction. He's going to the wreckage. The campsite is off to, about 15 minutes to the south of you. where the doctor's going. So it's going to be a good minute, and she's going to get a good heading, a good distance ahead of you if you decide to branch off here. Unless you try and convince her to divert.
I mean, yeah, he's gonna try and convince her. Right, Doctor. Let's make a quick pit stop by our camp, as I have to pick up a couple things in case we get stuck out here, and maybe some gear for scanning the environment. And I need to pick up my partner. I'm not leaving him out here anymore.
I'm sorry. We don't have much time, and we need to stay focused.
If we pick up the partner, you can utilize it to get there faster.
Give me a persuasion check or a charm check.
Charm. Okay.
Yeah.
Oh my god, what the fuck? It's not happening. I even upped my charm. That's crazy.
She's a very determined lady. I mean, she ponders at you. She gives you this very confused look as to why you're so. You that typical look that women give you when you're too enamored with your little toys or trinkets or whatnot. The same kind of look. Like,
And Raw's expression is one of kind of just anxiety to have something that is supposed to be his and in his hands, and he's missing it.
It's a complete disconnection between two genders here. They're like,
yep,
your toys are meaningless. Stop being such a child. And it's my personal belongings. You may not like it, but it's mine.
Yep.
It's that typical exchange.
Yep.
And yeah, you get that same reaction.
It's not working.
He's like, I'm sorry, we don't have time for your little toys. We came here for a reason. You can get your little trinket later.
It's not a toy, it's a tool, but alright. You're right, the sun is going down. We only have a certain amount of time. I'll swing by and get it on the way back, as I can see the dark just fine. Alright, let's go. And he
sorry, bud.
he forges ahead of her, kind of like disgruntled.
She's a determined, educated lady. She
just shaking his head, very frustrated.
All right, the two of you make your way into the ship through one of the various access ports that were created by the survivors.
In relation to the others that are on the ship now, what's the level he goes in on?
Okay, so Manoy was able to make it at least 3 or 4 levels below the surface of where the ship is buried.
Okay.
Archie, however, is probably about a level up on the more submerged side. That's towards the river.
Mm-hmm.
That's where the medical facility would have been kept. You are entering in on the northeastern section of the Sanala ore. This is going to be towards
about where we entered before.
No, you guys entered in from a upper level. You guys went.
Okay.
You chose the higher platforms as opposed to one of the ground-made holes.
Okay. Okay.
Man-made holes. You are in the more heavier looted section of the ship. This is where they kept most of the tools and various supplies that they had salvaged. from the ship, and Dr. Kutala is leading you back towards where she knows the R&D section of the ship is located. Where she
I have a
wanted to gather.
question, Tarzan.
Go ahead.
Since Rawl basically came here right away, did he also hear the transmission that I made earlier?
I would say no because
They're
he
going to
and
be a
Manoy.
couple. Yeah, they're going to be a couple minutes behind each other. Behind.
Okay.
Whereas Archie was there at the same time as you. So these two are arriving a little bit later than you guys. So no, he wouldn't have caught that transmission because comlinks only work at a short distance unless there's a amplifier of sorts. So yeah, no, he would not be aware of your activities right now. You guys make your way deeper down this corridor. Um, a lot of it again, heavily salvaged. Some of the doors missing off of the bulkheads. Some of the bulkheads heavily damaged and cut through um, crudely. You get to a point where you make it to a bulkhead that's been partially cut through, but you get a sense that it had ran out of power. They couldn't get it, or they ran out of the fusion material that helps cut through dense metal like earth. Um, Dr. Kutala turns to you. Well, beyond this bulkhead is where my research lab is located, and I haven't been able to get through this door. What do you suppose?
He looks over the door. Is it sealed shut by anything, or is it just they just couldn't get it open because
They
no
couldn't.
power to the door?
There's no power. You get a sense that there is one. There wasn't any power, and they didn't have any generators could be that could act as a power source for this door. And they tried to cut through the door just to bypass that problem.
Can I inspect that site where they were trying to cut through the door?
Yes. Go ahead and give me an easy perception check. Or what's the nature of that you're trying to discover?
Just to see how weak that section looks.
Okay. This will be a mechanics check then.
Okay. I mean, it's the same either way.
Oh.
Oh,
Okay. Okay.
finally.
You look over the roof. The cut was about 4 feet in length. You get a sense they were trying to create at least some kind of small opening that they could at least crouch through, as opposed to being able to walk through fully. Um, the fusion material, as you look at through the cut, it's very apparent they ran out of fusion material that would act as a cutting fuel for their cutting torches or whatever it was, plasma torches.
Mm-hmm.
Um, so the the structural integrity of the door is, while still solid, uh, isn't too deep. You get a sense that it's only uh, there as a means of sealing in case if there was any structural integrity uh, comprom- compromisation of the ship, that they could use this as a means to seal in the environmental atmosphere of seal in the atmosphere of the ship from the rest of the damaged section of the ship. So it's not like armor per se. It's just it's strong enough to keep the cabin or the hull of the ship protected environmentally.
Okay.
And fuck, what's it called? The ship. So we need to switch back to. Yep. There we go. There we go. Much better.
Um, Raw's gonna try and summon his Catorsis blade and see if he can just hack through at the weak point.
Okay. All right. And I believe you're trying to use your cortosis feature of your weapon.
Yes,
Your okay, or not cortosis, corrosion.
correct.
Okay. For context, before we do this, if you accrue any threats, this will, if you accrue enough threats, it will possibly damage your weapon to do
Noted.
this. That being said, it's an easy difficulty to strike the door at the compromised section of the door.
All right.
Okay. All
Yeah,
right.
buddy.
You do a lateral strike to try and create a hole from the top point of the cut that was already created. Um, you get about a good 2.5 inches of corrosion through this. Uh,
Mhm.
you get a sense that you're gonna have to. There's gonna be several series of strikes that you're gonna have to do to get this to work with what you have on hand.
And this is cutting through the lock on the door, correct?
There's no lock. It's just you're cutting
Just
through
cutting through the. Okay.
metal. You're cutting through metal at a very slow pace, but you're able to do it with the corrosive feature.
I don't have.
As long as you have that
Well,
advantage to spend.
let me ask you this, Tarzan. Under the table, would putting on the shock gloves and trying to jolt the system, would that provide enough electricity to basically stun the lock in order to open, kind of short
Create
circuiting
the
the lock to open it?
okay, okay. That's another way of trying to deal with this. Um, let's find out. Let's go ahead and do a. Yeah, you spot what appears to be a control panel. And with this idea in mind, um, yeah, you could probably try experiment and see if that will supply enough power to jolt the door open. Let's do a
So,
do a hmm. Let's do a hard check.
okay,
Mechanics. I'll give you.
mechanics, or do you want me to just do a brawl check to just punch it?
Mm,
Because I'm not really like fiddling with it mechanically. I'm literally just shocking the system.
okay, we can do it that way, but you'll risk damaging the system further and possibly
No,
uh, destroying the only other option that you have.
I mean, there's nothing really else I can do to it. I have no
Okay,
power. I have no power to it, and
okay.
uh, so yeah.
So this is going to be a precise strike. So I'm going to make this a hard difficulty,
Okay,
but it's still a brawl check.
okay,
This is to try and pull off the idea without destroying it too. If you fail, it destroys the control panel. If you over succeed, you compromise it, but it's not completely destroyed. So you'll have another attempt to try and pull it off. But if
okay.
you I'll say if you get more than 2 successes from this check,
Oh God.
it has to be
Okay.
very precise. One between 1 and 2 successes is the only way you're going to get through this with this item. You get more than that, it partially damages it.
And I
Get
have
under
to
it,
have advantage to activate the stun feature.
yes.
Okay. All right.
You confident with this
Well,
compromise?
let's do it.
Okay. All right. Let's try this. All right, here we go. Oh shit! Okay.
Wow.
All right. Oh shit!
Wow.
Let's get the
It
table in on this.
it
Cutting it a bit
worked.
close, roll!
It worked though.
Wow! Nailed it on the fucking head.
To 3 failures and 1 threat.
You,
I
you
wish I could increase this, but yeah.
well fucking done.
So
Okay.
in
How would you like to do this?
in cinematic form, uh, after trying to do his hack, well, this is not going to work very well. Dismisses his Fibrax. Right, this is going to be a little unconventional. It's not usually how I do things, but and he's saying this as he pulls on the shot gloves. I'm gonna try this. Wish me luck. And he squares up and just does a front jab to directly to the device center mass.
The immediate area around you sparks with blue light as you shove your fist into this control panel, and the panel itself lights up, and various lights, color lights, flicker, and you watch as the door begins to hum with life, and you successfully bypass the door.
Well, I wasn't quite sure that would work.
Neither was
Right.
I. That was rather risky.
Well, it's either that or hack through the door. So I figured, why not try it? We only have a set amount of time. Anyway, after you.
Thank you. Try not to hurt yourself in attempts like that, please.
I'll be fine. It's nothing but a little bit of a shock.
The two of you progress further into this section. Um, you still have 4 glow lights left, so yeah. By this point, it's really dark, and the small amount of power that you provided did not last long. As soon as the door opened, the power went back out, and that you guys leave the area. Um, so at this point, you have to rely on glow rods to be able to see. But you only really get about maybe 10 to barely 12 feet of good visual sight for you. Um,
Can I see the entirety of the room?
right now, you're still in a corridor.
Okay.
You can't. But yeah, you can see down the corridor uh, about 15 feet further down. You see some offices off to the side. Um, Dr. Kurtala doesn't seem at all bothered or intrigued by these offices at all. She continues to push past these doors.
As we pass them, Raw would like look at any room designation nomenclatures that might be printed on the wall to
Okay.
see what might be listed there.
Okay. Go ahead and give me a average perception check as the two of you progress forward. Damn, you are getting all rough rolls today.
Yeah, I don't like it. God damn it.
As you look them over, a lot of the Orbesh that was scrawled on these doors are heavily um, over obscured with either mold buildup or not mold, moss buildup or dirt and mud. The only way you'd probably be able to get a clear view of what these doors are saying is if you stopped and wipe away the buildup. But Dr. Patel does not seem at all interested.
That's not. That's for targets. Damn it. Okay. Very well.
um,
Um. Yeah. Rawls just kind of try and see if he can smudge away something, but it's not. It's not working, and he's just gonna kind of follow silently behind the doctor.
okay. It's about another 10, 12-minute walk. The further down you go, you guys continually passing more and more offices. But as you observe Dr. Gonzalez, she knows exactly where she's going. Uh, and you finally reach a massive office or
Are there
lab.
many twists and turns to this corridor?
It's about two or three turns. I'd say a left and then another, then a right and then another left, and then you come up to these large research labs. Um,
Rawls gonna try to remember that to
okay,
in case he needs to get away quickly.
gotcha. Um, there's you come up to the section where these three large labs are located. One of them off the left looks um, like a study of foliage or wild growth. The one on the right looks like a lab that has uh, encapsulated specimens that they do research on. Some of the containers that contain specimens shattered and have the contents spilled on the ground before them. Um, and then as you progress further back, you come up on another heavily uh, mechanicized, mechanical. That's the word. Duh. Mechanical heavy room that has a bunch of what appears to be cybernetics, some of which have arms or legs with various augmentations, um, an expired or a cadaver uh, with robotic augmentations applied to it to see if basically you get a sense that some type of Frankenstein experimentation was taking place here. Um, but she goes into this research lab um, and makes for a terminal. Begins to try and figure out a way to restore power to it. She starts pulling out wires, trying to find a adequate source. It seems.
Raw will assist with the boost die if she needs it.
All right. Let's take a look at what you got. Um, ooh, where are all your weapons located? Are they on your person?
Um, Raw still has his backpack with him. So the blaster, the ion blaster, the two slug thrower pistols are in the backpack, and obviously his blade can be summoned. And the vibro knife is in his boot, and the gloves would be like in his utility belt that he has.
Tell me, do you have anything with adequate ion with an ion power source?
Right,
Come
I
on, tell me.
suppose I could take apart my iron blaster, and he sets the bag down,
Take
opens it
apart
up.
for it. Give me the fuel pack.
Right, yeah, right here.
Thank you.
Takes it out, hands it over reluctantly. As she grabs it, he kind of like holds on to it for a split second longer than he needs to, and lets it go.
Give me the power cell. Thank you. She begins to jerry rig a power a connection for the power cell for the ion pistol to her computer terminal as the circuit is connected or created. There's a slight spark as the terminal begins to power up with life. She begins fervently get in, just crack into the system and get starts pulling files. And as you watch over her shoulder, some of this technology that you're seeing is like beyond is clearly beyond your understanding, but it's way more advanced than shit that you see uh, today. What she was working on was way beyond her time, and it's very impressive. And she's compiling all this information into a series of uh, data uh, data chips, working feverishly as you watch as the ion cell that is connected to this terminal quickly begins to drain. She doesn't have a lot of time, but she's working quickly, trying to get as much information as she can before
Um,
that ion cell runs out.
Raw would also have suggested to connect his arm-mounted datapad to see if he can also work on downloading as while she's simultaneously doing that.
Hmm.
So, like, she started from the top of the list, he was from the bottom of the list.
Ooh. Okay. Give me a charm check. I'll give you I'll give you two boosts because one, it's her research. Two, she's trying to salvage as much of it as quickly as possible before she runs out of time. So you're getting two boost dice to this check, but it's still going to be contested by her discipline.
Okay, I'm gonna use a light point. Well, okay, I'm no, I'm not going to. I just have to beat one success. We can totally do that, right? Yeah. Yes, we can. Oh my god.
Oh God! All right, you
Oh,
watch
Jesus.
as a wave of reluctance washes over her, and as you
You tight-roping individual!
that was close. That was close. Um,
How did the boost slide not help at all? It's crazy.
yeah, that was wild. Yeah, the dice are telling a story here. She's you 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 appeal to her desire to try and gather as much information as possible. Uh, that appeal triumphs over her need to protect her research from anybody at all costs. So she reluctantly gives you another cable to plug into with your data pad.
Starts furiously typing as fast as he can. Um, trying to download what he can.
All right, this is going to be a average computers check from the both of you.
Uh,
See if you can salvage all or if
there,
any.
computers. 2 failures. Okay, now I will use uh, a light token to up that.
All right, go ahead.
Oh my god!
Yeah, this shit's beyond you. You helped. You definitely helped,
The
but this
dice,
shit.
the dice
Oh,
giveth, and the dice taketh away.
the dice just seem to be taking. I don't know what you're talking about.
Yeah, you.
Hey, if you get into combat, it will come back around. But until then,
I'm
Yeah,
tempted
you
to use
bear.
that triumph.
That's true. You guys do still have the triumph in the bank, but
No, I'm gonna save it. I'm save it.
yeah, this stuff is beyond you, but you you manage anyways, and you manage to help consolidate some of the information, not all of it. Uh, Dr. Kutala is able uh, to salvage majority of the data, but there's a portion of her research that still needs to be recovered. And you watch as as the terminal flickers and deactivates after the ion cells completely drained.
Would increasing or decreasing the system strain or recovering the system strain help to keep it alive for a little bit longer?
I don't know how you're going to do that. You got to do
Because
something.
of manipulate basic power.
You're going to try and use your ability to try and slow the draining of the ion cell.
Correct.
Okay.
Um,
Give me a force ability check. It's going to be you take how many force die you have available to you. That's based off of your force rating, and then you roll that.
okay, so 2 force die. Yeah.
1 point available to you. So that's enough to activate the ability. I don't know if you're going to be. What's the ability that you're trying to use specifically?
It says the force. Come on. The force user manipulates machine components at molecular level. Force user may spend 1 darker light to cause 1 vehicle or starship he is engaged with to recover 1 system strain.
What is this ability called?
Manipulate basic power. It's the first in the tree.
Manipulate. Okay. Manipulate. I got the force tree force powers pulled up here. Give me 1 second. Manipulate. There it is. Okay. So what we're trying to do is slow the draining of power. This ability.
Or I can utilize the control to increase the system threshold by 3.
You would. Oh, that's emitting a force die.
Correct.
You know what? That I think that yeah, that'll work. So yeah,
Or-
you rolled enough to activate the ability. So yeah, you rolled enough to activate the ability and you commit a force die. So you're just down a force die until, if you try to use anything else.
Okay.
So okay, yeah, you activate the manipulate ability and begin to focus your attention on the ion cell to slow its the draining of power to try and get it to last as much as possible. Um, I'll give you it. Yeah, Dr.
Sweet.
Kurtal is able to recover all of her research between the two of you. Granted, granted she does most of the work because you had to stop and focus on the ion cell with your ability.
That's fine. But now I'll ask you what information that Raw has downloaded because now it's on his personal data pad.
Yeah, you're gonna have to convince her to let you keep that.
Yeah, I
So,
know. So yeah, I mean, Raw's gonna probably try to secretly make backups.
ooh, you dirty dog. You definitely do
Yeah.
your check to try and pull that off. But as of
Yep.
right now, you're not gonna
That's fine.
have time. With the last moments of the fuel cell being elongated or extended, Katala manages in this rush, this focused and intense rush. She manages to finish compiling all of her data, and the terminal powers down. And you watch this wash of fleet over, swoops over. Thank God.
Right. So we have your research. What next? Any of these parts here that are lying around you can salvage, or
How much
take the
money
whole
do you
lot?
think?
Oh well, I have my backpack here, and I can take whatever else I can in my arms.
The my research here is sturdy, well made, so that the weight will build up. And to be honest, and
Well,
I will take
if
it.
we had stopped by our encampment, I could have taken more, but he didn't want to do that. So,
It's it's no worries. Now that we got the door open, I can send people to retrieve the rest. Let's just take what we can.
all right, well, I guess find what's most important then, and let's get going.
You watch as she grabs a what appears to be some type of CPU. You, you're familiar with it, but this one seems a little more advanced than what you're used to, because you've seen this similar design on Killable
Hmm.
prior.
Hmm.
So a cybernetic augmentation of your brain. She picks up a series of cybernetic eye augmentations, limbs, and yeah, she hands them all to you to carry, and you guys begin to make your way um, out of her lab and back the way you guys came from.
Um, do I see anything that looks like a brain implant, like a cybernetic brain implant?
Besides the CPU that she grabbed.
Oh, that's what it is. Okay,
Yeah.
gotcha. All right, never mind then.
Is that what you wanted?
Uh, not necessarily. Looking to see if there's like any kind of gank com implants like around.
That's what you looking for, huh?
Yeah,
Yeah, you don't spot anything like that as of yet, but I mean, you got a friend that's the leading master of her field. Um, you got to work a little bit with her.
very well. You're not gonna give it to me easy. I see how it is.
I got to make you work for it, man. You're already powerful enough. I need you to work for
Just gonna
it.
make him telepathic. That's all. Um,
Okay.
um,
Um, yeah. No, it's you,
he
you
stores what he
go ahead.
can in his backpack, and um, pulls the glow stick back out again. Right, you ready to go? Or need another
Yeah.
stop somewhere?
That will do. If, now that we have everything from my research, if you must stop by boys, do that.
Anything for the encampment or defenses? Can you think of in the ship somewhere?
Fuel sources that would help power our perimeters or our sentry towers. Anything of that nature probably would help greatly people,
Well,
as well as
are
medical
those
supplies.
are those nearby, or can we do we have to go to another part of the ship to get those?
Uh, I don't know much of what's beyond my
Um, the ion fuel cells for the ion blaster are is it just the one that comes with it, and you have to buy more, or like when like under the table speaking, like do you have to get a bunch of
I
them, or
mean,
is it just one fuel
you're
cell?
supposed to buy more, but if you haven't made it publicly known, so you can
I
cash in a
mean,
Destiny token if you want to have extras.
Do it.
hang on, let me hang on. I
Do
have the
it.
sapper thing. Oh, it's once per session. Fuck. Yeah, sure.
Okay,
I'll do. I mean,
you got a backup
fine.
fuel cell if you cash it in. All right, cool. All right. The, you feeling a little down that that you're now down in an ion cell. You suddenly have this realization that I get back an extra ion cell. And you reach down and find it in your cargo pocket on your leg. Ah, there we
Raw
go.
Raw goes to the terminal again to see if he can hack in and download a blueprint of the ship.
What are you doing?
No, well, you said you don't know exactly what these fuel cells and medical supplies are. So what else would you do? Download a blueprint, right? Do you want to find these things to help your encampment or not?
All right. Let me,
Right then.
let me look. I don't. Again, not trying to be insulting.
It's fine. I understand. You don't trust me yet, and
It's
I,
more so I'm a little more. I have a better understanding of my thing.
whatever helps you sleep at night. Let's get this done.
You plug in your second ion cell into that jerry rigged connection. that Katala made, and she goes to work on this.
I am. Well, no, I wouldn't have been connected again. So yeah, I mean, if she needs help, she needs help. Um,
Damn.
seeing her kind of struggle a little bit. I'm gonna kind of gesture to the plug that I have in my hand still, and kind of like, you want me to give it a shot?
If you think you can get of itself, by all means, work
I mean,
fast. Time that cell's not going to last much longer.
exactly. And he plugs it in quickly. Computers check. You said.
Yep. 2 failures, 1 threat.
God.
I'll give you a boost.
Um.
Roll. Go ahead.
Can I take another light point, guys, or are we gonna try to hold on to him?
It's now or never because we're about to wrap up.
Yeah.
I'd say do it. I'd say do it now.
Do it now. Okay.
Do it now. You're the last one on the roll, so
Let's roll a proficiency die. Um, and I don't think I have any. No,
You
I don't.
gotta roll 1 proficiency die and 1 boost.
Okay. And a boost. Okay. There's one success.
2.
One success, one advantage.
There you
That's
go. Yeah. Okay. You managed to succeed. Okay. There you go. You weren't gonna succeed with that one success.
yeah.
So you managed to, with by the hair of your teeth, managed to finally pull up uh, the the basic schematics of the ship from the technician's files on the station, and managed to barely complete the download onto your data pad before that ion cell runs out of power. Uh, Unfortunately for you. You hear the growling of what appears to be a pack of holodecks standing behind you.
Ah, just when I thought things were going too easy.
That is
And
also what the rest of the others that find themselves in
yeah.
the
I will
Sanalor.
say, me and because I think I would be able to connect with Riles very quickly before we end. Um, there is a on his comlink. He hears a boop 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 on like
mm,
almost like an emergency thing from from Archie of
Okay.
like a it's
Um,
me with 5 civvies.
yeah. Archie, Rawl, Dr. Cortala, and the 5 survivors are greeted with the visage of these
Shit.
reptilian, canine-like creatures that are huddled in a pack before them. Minoy, deep within the bowels of the Zanalor, unsure of where she stands for the immediate threat that's around them. And Dar and Chav working their magic
being
to try and
happy,
convince,
being happily somewhat safe in an encampment.
trying to work
Hey,
their
man. It's good to
way,
not be the explorer sometimes.
trying to work their way into ingratiating themselves with the survivors of the Sadnalor. Where the rest of this adventure is going to take is to be diced. Thank you for tuning in. You guys have a great rest of your night.